The following is a production of the Minnesota Sports Radio Network.
It's the Minnesota Sports Prep Update for Friday, September 9th. I'm Ryan Phelps. A couple of pieces of news and notes. We start with volleyball and the state rankings. In Class 3A, defending champ Egan is number 1, followed by Champlain Park and Prior Lake. In Class 2A, Kenyon Wanamingo is number 1, then Belle Plaine and Maple Lake. Ricori and Morris Shakyle, Alberta round out the top 5. In Class 1A, Bethlehem Academy is the top team, then Tracy Milroy Ballatin, Naval Canton, Heritage Christian, and Mare Lutheran. You can check out the full rankings for all your favorite fall sports on our website, minnesotascores.net. In other news, the dust has settled on the Olympic Games in Rio. Now it's time for the Paralympic Games. More than 4,350 athletes, the most in Paralympic history, from 176 countries will compete in 22 sports with 528 medal events. Canoeing and triathlon make their Paralympic debuts here in Rio. The Americans will be represented by their largest Paralympic delegation of 289 athletes, and that includes, interestingly enough, 9 guides for visually impaired competitors. And there are 12 with Minnesota ties. We start with Aaron Pike of Park Rapids. He'll be competing in track and field. Pike is a distance specialist who has twice medaled in the Twin Cities Marathon and also competed in the 2014 Paralympics in Nordic skiing and biathlon. Rose Hollerman of Elysian, Minnesota will compete in wheelchair basketball. Lexi Shiflett of Waseca, who had her right foot amputated as an infant, plays on the sitting volleyball team. She played volleyball and softball for 4 years at Waseca High School, and now is competing on the Paralympic team for the first time. Natalie Sims of Edina is a member of the Minneapolis Otters swim team. She's also competing in her first Paralympics and will race in 4 events. Sean Titchener of Brainerd is a U.S. Army Sergeant First Class who lost his right leg while being deployed in Afghanistan and is now a part of the Army Marksmanship Unit. Will compete in shooting in sport pistol and air pistol in his first Paralympics.
The 5 toss left side Farrar. Can he win the race to the corner? Cuts it back at the 5. Is he in? Yes! GSL wins!
Week 1 is in the books for high school football in Minnesota, and there were some thrillers. That was Adam Bartles with a call on KARP. Glencoe Silver Lake gets the overtime win over New London Spicer. 27-21 the final score.
They'll pitch it out to Lee. Lee on the sweep on that left side. Up to the 30, 25-20. Not happening. Touchdown for Jefferson Lee. 35. Literally not a hump.
1 of 5 first half touchdowns for Jefferson Lee as Marshall cruises past Jordan 63-14. That was Ryan Rollick with the call on KMHL.
Poland going to turn around, get to Hennon. He'll plunge his way forward, and he'll lunge just enough to break the plane. Isaac Hennon gets 6 for the Vikings.
Minneota escapes Wabasca with a 22-17 win. The Vikings' Isaac Hennon scored 3 touchdowns. That was his second.
Pass to Ross Olson here, and that's what they're going to do. They're going to alley-oop up to Olson. He makes the catch, and he is in for a touchdown! 29-yard touchdown.
And that was Paul Ramo on KLQP. Lac-Oparo Valley defeats Canby 18-6. Next up, they'll take on Russell Tyler Ruthven, who snapped a 30-game losing streak Thursday night, beating Minnesota Valley Lutheran 37-36. If you've got a free afternoon and a few cans of Dow Great Stuff insulating foam sealants with our Easy Straw applicator, you could be cozier by tonight. It expands to fill gaps and cracks up to 1 inch. Use inside or out to fill gaps and cracks around plumbing lines and rim joists, in attics and basements, and more. Come on down to your local Hardware Hank to take advantage of the buy one, get one free deal offered this month on Great Stuff insulating foam sealants from Dow.
You've got a lot more going for you with Hank, Hardware Hank.
When you're scrambling through the dinner rush, go with your most delicious option, Red Savoy. Loved by Minnesotans for years, Red Savoy has savory, flavorful sauce that sets their pizza apart. Plus there's more, pasta, salads, sandwiches, and even gluten-free options. Whether delivery, frozen, or take and bake, Red Savoy's got you covered. Plus, check out Red Savoy's catering and fundraising options. It's a surefire way to make your next banquet, meeting, or fundraiser a hit. Find your nearest location and order online at SavoyPizza.com.
I'm in a state of caffeination, got all my fingers shaking. Must have been my large Americano, mochaccino, macchiato. Now the family's gone to bed, and that's my favorite time to get some tips on better rates. Cause my State Farm guy answers late, and even when it's not my agent, someone's standing by so patient. Getting coverage questions answered helps me to relax. Get to a better state, State Farm.
Visit Brandy Warmbier State Farm Insurance Office, located off Singletree and Flying Cloud Drive, online at brandywarmbeer.com.
As the 2016 high school sports season gets underway, thousands of girls hit the soccer fields and volleyball courts around the state. But not all girls fit the same mold.
I first started playing soccer when I was like 5 or 6. I was quite tough, so I kind of kept knocking over girls. And it got to the point where I got kicked out of soccer games. So my parents were like, okay, you're kind of too tough for soccer.
So Lucy and her family got together and found a sport more to her liking.
Well, one is just fun, and I get to hang out with a group of guys, and like that's more of like my main friend squad too, is like guys. So I like hanging out with them. It's just like a big group of brothers or friends to hang out with every single day.
When she says hanging with the boys, she means it quite literally, because on this team, she's just one of the guys. For many high school girls, football is most enjoyed while cheering from the sidelines. But not Lucy McBride. You see, she spends most of her time in the trenches, playing on the offensive line.
So I play offensive tackle, so I'm probably 100 pounds lighter than I should be, probably 6 inches or more shorter than I should be.
She makes up for her lack of size with her attention to detail.
I have to be good with my technicality versus just being big. And so at first it was tough just getting used to like I'm taking on these people that are like giants.
A stark contrast from when she first started playing the game.
I made guys cry when I was younger just because I was bigger than them, and then they got tackled by girls. I'm like, and then the coaches were yelling about how we're all a teammates, so that was really good how the coaches kept it as we're all teammates.
They've grown to accept her with open arms, like the first time she got into a varsity game.
Lucy, Lucy, Lucy. And so then the rest of the team started picking up my name, chanting my name, and then went over to the band because we have marching band too, so they started yelling it, and then up into the student section and then the parent section, so just like the whole crowd was like yelling my name, so that was really cool.
Though still a backup, Lucy has added a new twist to the Boys of Fall.
It's just like hanging out with your friends every single day after school. It's great.
In Chaska, I'm Ryan Phelps for Minnesota Prep Spotlight.
You know, it's always a fun game for the 2 towns, 3 towns. Everybody comes out to it, and, you know, there's a lot of people that work in either community, and The kids know each other, so it's a fun, good rivalry.
That's Andy Rosberg, head football coach at Hutchinson, as he and the Tigers get set for week number 2, perhaps their biggest of the season, as they take on arch rival Glencoe Silver Lake in an old-school rivalry.
You know, it started way back in the 60s and 70s where we would play them all the time, and that's when it was just Glencoe.
And like usual, Rosberg is expecting some tough competition.
They're really good. I mean, we went and watched them on Friday against New London Spicer, and they're a really good football team. They run the ball, and they've got 3 backs that are really good. Offensively, they're pretty hard to handle.
And with the 8-game regular season being as short as it is, there are many things at stake in this one.
Second game of the year, there's a lot riding on this game, you know, more than just the emotions and the last time we're playing and things like that.
But with all the game planning that goes into it, this week has also been about reflection, as the storied rivalry, at least for now, comes to an end tonight.
It's been a long rivalry with Glencoe Silver Lake and Glencoe over the years, and you know, this is the last time we'll play them until the State High School League gets their fingers involved in it again and changes stuff up, and maybe we'll be back with them again some other time.
And we'll be live on location after your game with After the Game, live in Glencoe from Unhinged Pizza from 9:30 to 11. If your car's brakes aren't working properly, then you may need to clean them with the Brake Clean Brake Cleaner from CRC. Formulated to quickly and effectively remove grease, brake dust, brake fluids, oils, and other contaminants from brake parts, linings, and pads. This cleaner helps brakes last longer and perform more efficiently, and can be applied without disassembly. Swing by Hardware Hank and pick up CRC Brake Cleaner to remove any contaminants from your brakes.
You've got a lot more going for you with Hank, Hardware Hank.
Freesiac is a locally owned frozen yogurt shop located right by Eden Prairie High School. At Freesiac, they pride themselves on offering you high-quality, locally sourced yogurt, freshly cut fruits, and a wide variety of topping combinations in a family-friendly, hands-on, and fun atmosphere. Both dairy-free and gluten-free options are available too. Freesiac offers 6 carefully chosen flavors of frozen yogurt mixed in-house as the starting point. Then let out your inner dessert artist to create your own one-of-a-kind treat with a wide variety of toppings. And at Freesiac, you pay by the ounce. It's only fair. They also offer a happy hour Monday through Thursday for the last hour of the night, where everything in your cup is 31% off. So treat yourself after the EP game tonight and stop by Freesiac. Open till 11 and located just blocks from Eden Prairie High School on 4 and 5.
At CHS, our business partnerships involve making a lasting connection.
Hello. Konnichiwa.
Konnichiwa.
Not only linking our customers with the materials they need.
Excuse me. Sumimasen.
Sumimasen.
But going above and beyond.
Arigato.
Whether it's energy, grains, or foods, at CHS, we're more than just a business partner. We make your vision a reality. CHS, resources for enriching lives. Visit chsinc.com.
It's time for our Hardware Hank Nuts and Bolts Athletes of the Week, which are selected every Tuesday based on your nominations to minnesotascores.net. Each week we select 2 winners, one from the Metro and one from Greater Minnesota. The outstate winner is Jefferson Lee from Marshall Football, and the Metro winner is Anna Sheffley from Simley Volleyball. The Minnesota Sports Prep Update can be heard right here every Monday through Friday, and for more coverage you can find us on the web at minnesotascores.net. That's minnesota-scores.net. I'm Ryan Phelps on Minnesota Sports Radio.
The following is a production of the Minnesota Sports Radio.
It's time for another round of live, local, play-by-play coverage of Southwest Metro Sports on PSB Media.
1-1, Middlestead, the leader, and he scores! Pretty amazing.
Watch the teamwork, tradition, and all-out competition unfold live on any streaming device.
they're back to work again. Walking out is Trousseau again, and he scores again. What a start here for TJ Trousseau.
Zog throws it deep, has a man. The catch is made, running down the sideline. 20-10. 5-touchdown Eden Prairie. First play of the second.
PSB Media's coverage of tonight's game is brought to you by The Malt Store, The Tavern on 4 and 5, The Sun Current, Noodles & Company, Excel Fitness, Brandy Warmbeer's State Farm Insurance Office,
Freesiac, Red Savoy Pizza,
and in partnership with Minnesota Football Magazine and BEC TV.
On the run, Bame able to finish. Looks over the middle, the catch is made.
Catch all of the action all season long on your home for Southwest Metro Sports. PSB Media.
Deflects it in deep. Berger plays away from him to the left wing boards. That bounces off a skate. Turned over to Aguilar. Shot and save. Scores! Aguilar the shot. The rebound.
Game time is coming up next.
Currently honoring America with the playing of our national anthem. The start of your pregame show will be coming up in a moment. Star-Spangled Banner here at the Edina Community Center with the first Friday night of our football season is upon us. Eden Prairie looking to rebound from a loss last week at home to Totino Grace as they come a short distance to the east to the Edina Community Center to take on the Edina Hornets. Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the season opening Friday edition of the Sun Current pregame show. I'm Patrick Lilia, and on behalf of Brett Johnson and all of our PSB Media crew, we're glad you're with us. Dr. Grant Norland will be joining us in a little while. Before we get started, we'll remind you that you can keep up with football all season long, along with all other Eden Prairie sports and so much more with the Sun Current. Sun Current is proud to be your community news leader for over 50 years, featuring the latest on local government, school district news, community events, and Southwest Metro sports. Find it all at current.mnsun.com. That's current.mnsun.com. As we mentioned, Eden Prairie fell at home last week to Totino Grace, their first home loss since 2012, as well as their first back-to-back losses since 2012, coupled with their defeat against Totino Grace in the section playoffs. Meanwhile, Edina went up to Andover and shrugged off a slow start by scoring the final 16 points of the game to take home a 23-14 win. Senior quarterback Brock Boltman totaled 204 all-purpose yards and a rush touchdown to lead the Hornets offense. Parker Rickard also contributed 8 catches for 100 yards, and Ben Brinkman rushed for 115 yards and a touchdown. Last season, when these two got together, it was all Eden Prairie, with the Eagles scoring the first 41 points on the way to a 41-7 win at Aries Stadium. Alec Hetherington rushed for 3 touchdowns, and J.D. Spielman also rushed for 91, not including an impressive 87-yard touchdown run that was called back by a penalty. Both of these players, of course, are graduated now, so we will have to find out who will step up this week. Meanwhile, Boltman was held at just 90 total yards in that game, 80 passing and 10 rushing.
Yeah, Patrick, you were talking about how Edina, they're a highly rated team, but they didn't quite have as much success against Andover than I think they probably anticipated, but still got the W, which is good for them. And this is one of the rare times we come into an Edina-Eden Prairie football game where Edina actually has a better record, albeit it's only one game for each team. They'll certainly take it, though, and I'm really looking forward to this. This could be one of these opportunities where we could see Eden Prairie start a season 0-2, which I don't think has happened in decades.
Absolutely, as we get set for the opening kickoff. and field it at the 10-yard line, and then a fake reverse, and coming up the near side of the field with some blockers is number 13, that's Izzy Stewart on the return, and he's taken down at about the 34-yard line. So that's where the Hornets will go on offense for the first time, led by senior quarterback Brock Boltman, the North Dakota University commit. It'll be 1st and 10 for the Hornets, following that 24-yard return by Stewart.
Yeah, I was going to say, Patrick, we'll have to see how Edina starts here. Very good field position to start the game with a very high-powered offense that they have.
Boltman in the I formation, receiver to his left and to his right. As he takes and drops back and fires it complete. That's Rickard as he fights his way toward a first down, pushed out of bounds about a yard shy at the 43. 2nd down and 1 coming up. Just a short little out pass that Rickard, who was one of the main instigators on offense last week for the Hornets, makes his presence felt right away with a 9-yard catch.
Yeah, I'll see on the replay there, a nice little stiff arm as well to get an extra 3 yards. Good start by Edina here to force a 2nd and short early on.
Edina in the shotgun, spread offense. We'll see that look frequently. 3 receivers to Boltman's right, 1 to his left. So he takes a snap, rolls out to his right, now fires and complete across the 50-yard line, out of bounds, and that is number 81. Jimmy Connell is wide receiver / tight end. Again, Eden Prairie territory. That'll be a 1st down at the Eagles 47. So Hornets come out throwing. Boltman 2 for 2, and already the Hornets in Eden Prairie territory with a 1st down.
Yeah, very good start for them.
Boltman in the I again, 2 receivers right, 1 left. He takes a short drop, quick out, and that's Rickard. He boots it to the outside across the 30-yard line and out of bounds right at the 30-yard line.
Boy, another well-designed play there by the Edina passing game. Moving down the field, but they're really not much resistant. We're just, a little over 30 seconds into this game, and Edina's already got the ball deep in Eden Prairie territory.
Gain of 17. Edina coming out in the I again. 3 receivers to the right, 1 to the left. Boltman again rolling out. He's pressured a bit, fires now, and it's knocked away right into the hands of Abdul Ibrahim. So he shows a little bit of emotion. Might have been lucky that one wasn't intercepted. 2nd down and 10 coming up for the Hornets from the Eden Prairie 30-yard line.
And we'll take a look at it here on replay. A good job by the Eden Prairie defender to get in the way of that pass and force an incompletion. One of the first good defensive plays Eden Prairie's made in this game thus far.
Absolutely, and there might have been a little more touch on that one might have found its way over Ibrahim's hands, but nonetheless knocked away. 2nd and 10, Edina again in the I, 2 receivers right. This time play action and pressured from behind, and escaping is Boltman, and he will take a hard hit and go down. That's Antonio Montero and Dan Anderson on the stop. Boltman was heavily pressured from behind by Devin Green Jr., able to slip out of the sack, but nonetheless he will go down for a loss of 3 on that hard hit with 3rd down 13 coming up.
Yeah, you'll see kind of in the middle, rushing right through that offensive line, basically untouched was that Eden Prairie defender, and that caused a tough situation there for Edina, bringing up 3rd and long, first time they faced in this game so far.
Well, 3rd and 13, 3 receivers to the right, 1 to the left, and we'll have a stoppage.
I think we got a referee timeout. It looks like maybe an equipment issue. Yeah, with the running back, it looks like for Edina.
No, maybe, no, we'll go back. They come out in the same formation. Shotgun for the Hornets, 3 receivers to the right. And we'll have another official timeout. Not sure if we are having a ball spot question. The referees go over to the Edina sideline. Now Edina back in the huddle.
Yeah, I'd like to welcome along Grant Norland to the broadcast, who I think finally found some parking here at Coolman Stadium. It's a great facility, but parking not exactly his forte here.
You bet. Thank you, Brett. I appreciate that. Yeah, first Friday night of the year for me, so this is exciting.
Yeah, it's an interesting start so far with Edina really moving the ball down the field, but a sack by Eden Prairie's forced them into a bit of a tough situation here with this 3rd and long.
The referee standing over the ball, so clearly whatever is going on has not quite been corrected, and we're still not ready for play. We have 3rd and 13 coming up.
Certainly glad the rain held off here. We were kind of concerned that we might have to do a remote broadcast this evening since they were forecasting rain all week, but certainly it's turned out to be a pretty nice evening here for high school football.
Absolutely, and it's going to be our first blast of fall after this cold front moved through. Temperatures already dipping probably into the 60s by this point in the game. So perfect weather if you think about fall and football together. It looks like now we are ready to go. And once again, Edina coming out in that 4-wide set, 3 receivers to the right, 1 to the left. There's a draw up the middle, and picking up about 4 yards is number 17, Ben Brinkman, who picked up 115 rush yards and a touchdown last week. It'll bring up 4th down in about 9 with 10:30 to go here in the first quarter. And Edina looking like they're going to go for it.
Kind of in no man's land here where it's too long to kick a field goal, too close to punt it. So
absolutely. Allen got some movement up front, got a couple of Eden Prairie players jumping into the neutral zone. And it'll be a classic case of who moved first, and this penalty will go against the Eagles, so that'll make it a slightly more manageable 4th down now for 4th and 4 at the 24-yard line coming up.
Interesting to see when Edina draws up in this situation. They have a very mobile quarterback here in Boldman. See if they maybe try a rollout in this situation, give them that run-pass option, and make Eden Prairie's defense make a play.
Boldman getting instructions from his coaches, and now he's back in the huddle. Boldman under center, receiver to the right and to the left, and Brinkman in the backfield. We have another stoppage, and at this time a timeout by Edina. Timeout Edina with 9:51 to go in the first quarter, no score. We'll take a break. You're listening to PSB Media.
Freeziac is a locally owned frozen yogurt shop located right by Eden Prairie High School. At Freeziac, they pride themselves on offering you high-quality, locally sourced yogurt, freshly cut fruits, and a wide variety of topping combinations in a family-friendly, hands-on, and fun atmosphere. Both dairy-free and gluten-free options are available too. Freeziac offers 6 carefully chosen flavors of frozen yogurt mixed in-house as the starting point. Then let out your inner dessert artist to create your own one-of-a-kind treat with a wide variety of toppings. And at Freeziac, you pay by the ounce. It's only fair. They also offer a happy hour Monday through Thursday for the last hour of the night where everything in your cup is 31% off. So treat yourself after the EP game tonight and stop by Freeziac. Open till 11 and located just blocks from Eden Prairie High School on 4 and 5.
Patrick.
Back here at Coleman Stadium, Edina lining up for a 4th and 4 deep in Eden Prairie territory from the Eagle 24. Out of the shotgun again, 2 receivers to the right and Brinkman in the backfield. And Boltman will do a designed run across the 20-yard line, has the first down, cuts inside, and taken down by a swarm of Eagles inside the 10-yard line at about the 8. Great designed run on 4th and 4. Picks up about 16, and it'll be first and goal at the 8-yard line. And Edina wasting no time. Here's a handoff to Brinkman up the middle, and he's slammed right at the line of scrimmage. That's Montero again, along with Danny Anderson in on the stop as well. 2nd and goal coming up. No gain on the play. No score early on here. 9:20 to go, but the Hornets looking impressive on offense early on.
It's certainly been a good drive for them here to start this game, getting 2nd and goal and really only taking 3 minutes off the clock. As we said, Eden Prairie's defense has not provided a whole lot of resistance outside of that sack they had a couple plays ago.
Out of the eye are the Hornets. And here's a pitch to Rickard as he's into the end zone, around the corner, touchdown Edina. 8-yard run for Parker Rickard puts Edina on the board first on their opening drive. 6-0 with the extra point coming up. Very impressive finish to that drive for an overall impressive drive for the Hornets.
Yeah, that was a pretty dominant performance there to open this game for the Edina Hornets offense. That was really impressive drive there. It's something we don't typically see, at least in years past, from that Eden Prairie defense. But I recall a few games where we saw the opposing team drive the length of the field on that opening drive and then come back and shut them down the rest of the game. So it'll be interesting to see if they make some adjustments here. And
actually a penalty on the play.
Wow.
So our apologies.
So they're calling that back.
Yeah, so
I didn't even see that.
The only way I caught it was when I heard the crowd over there chanting, "You can't do that," which
did not see a flag on the field. So they'll spot the ball at the 16, so it'll be about an 8-yard penalty. And as we mentioned in the pregame show, penalties were a problem for Edina last week. 10 penalties for 87 yards. And Edina once again out of the shotgun. Boltman with Brinkman to his left, 2 receivers to his right, and he will trying to find some room on the outside, and he'll cut the corner and get back inside the 10, back to about where the ball was spotted on the touchdown that was called back a moment ago. It'll be 3rd down and goal coming up from about the 9. After all that, it was only about a 5-yard net run for Boltman. Maybe closer to 7, actually, I should say, but nonetheless. So now a long 3rd and goal coming up from the 9-yard line. Boltman fading into the back of the end zone, and it's incomplete, but there was a flag thrown as some contact in the near side front corner. Will likely be interference against Eden Prairie of some kind and a 1st down coming up for the Hornets. Penalty would be against Eden Prairie. I apologize.
Yeah, looking at the replay, trying to see the contact there. It looks like it wasn't a whole lot of contact, but enough to at least draw that penalty.
It's hard to tell from here. There could have been a little acting going on there.
Yeah.
So they'll spot the ball just inside the 5-yard line. It'll be a 1st and
now they're keeping that 3rd down. I don't quite follow.
Yes, pass interference isn't an automatic 1st down as Boltman once again going for the fade, and it's over everyone's hands and incomplete. It was Jimmy Connell intended, and very nicely covered by the linebacker DJ Johnson out there one-on-one. It'll be 4th down now. If we're all a little confused after that penalty didn't result in a 1st down.
Excuse me. I'm a little confused by that too. I've always known pass interference in the end zone to result in a 1st down, because if it happens in the middle of the field, you get a 15-yard penalty.
Yeah, I'm with you too, Grant.
On a 22-yard field goal for Matt Rice, and it is up, and it is good. So Edina does end up with points on their 1st drive. Unfortunately for them, only a field goal after the touchdown was called back. 22-yard left-footed kicker boots it through. And with 8:05 to go in the 1st quarter, Edina 3, Eden Prairie nothing. You're watching high school football on PSB Media.
Woohoo! This is the best dirt bath ever!
Larry, what's with all that racket?
I'm loving my new digs. This compost is amazing. Come on in, give it a try.
What are you talking about? Oh, yeah, you weren't kidding, Larry. This stuff is great.
The Mulch Store has compost your garden, and yes, even the worms will love. Stop by any of the Mulch Store locations in Burnsville, Minnetrista, Rosemount, and Shakopee to pick up the best compost in the Midwest. Online at mulchstoremn.com. Also shop rocks, seed, soil, edging, and more. Now's the time to make your neighbors green with envy.
Store locations in Burnsville, Minnetrista, Rosemount, and Shakopee.
3-0 Edina as they score on their opening possession. 22-yard field goal by Matt Rice as Rice kicking off toward the end zone and backing up and over the head of Solo Falanico for a touchback, and Eden Prairie will go on offense for the first time, now trailing 3-0.
That's a heck of a kick that Edina kicker had right there. Pretty good leg. You don't see that often in high school football.
And if you can kind of hear the wind, it's not gusting in the direction that would enable that kick to travel that far. The wind is kind of traveling from near side to far side if you're looking at your screen. So, first down for Eden Prairie on offense for the first time in the game. Blake Matson at quarterback, 2 receivers to his left, 1 to his right, and he'll start off by handing it off to Falanico, who will, for the moment, get the corner, break a tackle, flag go down. Falanico ends up with about a 6-yard gain when all is said and done, but there are flags down. We'll see what happened. Angelo's in on the tackle for Edina. A couple of markers down.
Well, how often have we seen that, Grant, over the years covering Eden Prairie football, where their running backs just do not go down on first contact? He was able to pick up about an extra 2 yards after kind of spinning out of that initial hit.
Yeah, that's always their style, and it seems like they always seem to come up with another one of those guys every year, too.
A player down for the Hornets. Try to get the number for you in a moment.
In the meantime, though, I'd like to remind everyone that we have coverage of Eden Prairie football all season long here on PSB Media. Next matchup is against Hopkins next week back at Aerie Stadium. Hard to believe Eden Prairie still searching for their first victory and looking to snap a 2-game losing streak. I was looking at some archives to see when the last time they lost 3 games in a row. I don't think it's happened in quite some time.
Party is number 99, John Bailey, as he's walking off with minimal assistance. The penalty was likely a hold against Eden Prairie, so they will now face a first down and 20. Ball spotted right now at their own 10 as they break the huddle. They will have it that first and 20 at the 10-yard line. Madsen under center with 1 receiver to his left. Takes the snap and hands it off right away to Devin Green Jr. Breaks through for a gain of about 5. Green Jr. had a 39-yard touchdown run last week on an impressive burst. Just hit the hole, hit the near sideline, and he was gone for a 39-yard touchdown that at the time gave Eden Prairie the lead at 14-10. And he picks up 6 on that play. Second down and 14 coming up. 2 receivers will go to Mattson's right. I formation in the backfield. Matson takes a snap and gives it off on a little bit of a delay, and bursting up the middle for a first down is Solo Falanico. So he takes that second and 14 and bursts up the middle for about 16 or 17, and that'll be a first down for Eden Prairie. So sort of the opposite of what Edina did. Eden Prairie going to their bread and butter on the ground, and they're now picked up a big first down after getting themselves into a hole with a penalty. And here's another handoff. This will be Green Jr., and he'll burst across for a gain of about 4 or 5. Little move up to the 37-yard line 38, second down, and about 5 coming up. Haven't seen Eden Prairie throw the ball yet. No, of course, they don't really like to do it, but one receiver to Matson's right on second down and 5. And this time here's an end around and crossing the first down and getting to midfield. Is number 25, Graham Teal, one of the other running backs in Mike Grant's set. He uses quite a few of them on offense, and that time it's Teal getting up to midfield, picking up 12 and another Eden Prairie first down.
See some good blocks there by the Eden Prairie offensive line. They've, of course, been taught those plays for years, know how to run them and pick up a first down. A good response drive thus far for the Eagles.
With the pro formation with 2 receivers to the right of Matson. Matson drops back and he'll pass for the first time, and there's contact in the secondary and a flag. Connolly was the intended receiver for Eden Prairie, and he's motioning for a flag, and that was pretty blatant there.
Yeah, I'm not sure what he was thinking on that one. Might be just one of those early season.
I'll get one more look at it here.
Boy, yeah, he just cut off his route and hit him high, too. That was, not sure what he was thinking there.
Oh, ball will move up to the Edina 35, so Eden Prairie responding well to that Edina opening drive in which the Hornets got a field goal. One receiver this time to the left of Matson is another end around to Falanico, who blasts through for a gain of about 5 up to the 30. He's brought down by a swarm of Hornets. Those 5-yard gains just eating away at the distance, and it'll be second down and manageable coming up. Second and 5, one man in the backfield, one receiver to the left, and they'll go to another hitter to Green, who breaks a couple of tackles and ends up about 2 yards short of the first down. Green will pick up 3, so 3rd and short coming up, and those are the kind of things that Eden Prairie wants.
Yeah, certainly, Patrick, that's the bread and butter of their offense, is trying to force those 3rd and short situations. It almost seems like it's automatic when you face Eden Prairie in that situation with how big their offensive linemen are and how well they block.
Absolutely. 3rd and 2 coming up for Eden Prairie. Edina looking to make one big play to put Eden Prairie in a big decision mode. We'll go with the stacked backfield, and here's a handoff to Green, who bursts across the line and picks up a first down. Picks up 4 on 3rd down and 2, and it'll be another first down for the Eagles.
That was great surge by the Eden Prairie line on that play. You can see there's about a 4-yard line surge there before the running back even makes contact with a defender. That's pretty hard to stop.
Eden Prairie in the I formation, one receiver to Matson's left. And here's a handoff to the up man Green, who gets up to about the 20-yard line. Pick up 2, second down and 8 coming up.
Been a time-consuming drive here for the Eagles as well, as we're at 3:53 of the first quarter. Kind of those signature Eden Prairie drives where it seems like they take about, 12, 13 plays, get in the end zone, and can really break the spirit of your defense.
Absolutely. Second down and 8 coming up. Eden Prairie in the I again. Falanico in the backfield as the tailback. And they will give it to him as he'll cross the 20, across the 15, and he's hit and dropped there. Another gain of 5. It'll be 3rd down and 2 coming up. Another 3rd and short, and that's Eden Prairie's bread and butter. They have that strong running game, and the 3rd and manageable. You likely know what's coming if you're Edina.
Brad, earlier you said it seems like sometimes that offensive line blocks so well that the running back isn't contacted for about 3 or 4 yards. That another situation there.
Eden Prairie with that stacked line on 3rd and 2, and here's a handoff to Green, and he's not going to get the first down. Stood up right at the line of scrimmage. Tried to fight his way forward, but just shoved back and will be stopped for no gain. And there is that decision coming up for Eden Prairie. Likely no decision to be made. 4th down and 2, they're likely going to go for it.
Yeah, it's not often they get stopped for less than 2 yards, so I'd say their probability is pretty high here. And they're in a place on the field where if they did turn it over, it's a long field for Edina going the other way, so it's a pretty safe bet here for them.
Stacked line again in front of Matson, 2 in the backfield. There's a handoff to Montero, and he has stood up, and he will not get the first down. As the Edina sideline erupts, and Eden Prairie turns it over on downs.
Wow, that's a huge play for Edina right there. Brett, you alluded to earlier that can be demoralizing for a defense to take that long of a drive in short bursts like that, and it's not only mentally tiring, but it's physically tiring too. So to cap it off with an exciting play like that is huge to get the momentum back in your favor. So we'll see what this offense does with this right now.
Well, it'll be 1st and 10 for Edina at their own 14, leading 3-0. Boltman leading the troops back onto the field after that impressive opening drive. And they will go right back to the spread offense. 1 receiver to the left, 1 to the right. 2 receivers to the left, excuse me. Boltman designed run, crosses the 15, and taken down after a gain of about 3. 2nd down and 7 coming up. Danny Anderson with the stop for Eden Prairie.
Reminder, if you'd like to contact us throughout the broadcast, we're announcers at psbmedia.com. You can also click the link below your game tracker screen, or if you're watching on YouTube, just use your Gmail account and send us a comment. Love to hear from you throughout tonight's game.
Single back formation, this time with Boltman under center. Some players moving around a little bit. We'll have 3 receivers to the right of Boltman, 1 to the left. As he straight drops, fires it complete, and pushed out of bounds is Jake Boltman, and he will have a first down. Gain of about 8. Oh,
yeah.
Once again, no, go ahead.
Oh, Jake Boltman, that's a name you're going to be calling for a while. I believe he's only a freshman, isn't he?
Yes, he is.
He is one heck of a receiver. I had a chance to work with him and his brother a little bit in this offseason, and he is a phenomenal athlete, somebody that you're going to be hearing about for a long time for this Edina football team.
It's 1st and 10 at the 25 as Edina goes back to the spread. 3 receivers to the right. Out of the shotgun is Boltman, and here's a handoff up the middle out of the shotgun and picking up about 5.
I have a message to pass along to you. This one is from Jim. He says he's watching for number 9, Devon Green, as he's watching from Tucson, Arizona tonight. So Devon Green's parents tuning into tonight's game. Thanks for watching.
With Santino Kretz on the carry, haven't called that name yet. He picks up 5. 2nd down and 5, final minute of the first quarter now. Boltman under center, fires quick out, and Rickard has it go through his hands, incomplete. Kyle Connolly was about to put a big hit on. So Rickard unable to hold on in the face of the big hit that was approaching. So incomplete, and 3rd and 5 coming up.
Now that ball was thrown just a little bit too far upfield on that hitch route. You can kind of see how when you throw that ball, you've got to throw it back down the stem of that route so it's away from the defender, and there the defender was just able to break up the pass because of where the ball was located.
I formation for Edina on 3rd down as we have a player jumping into the neutral zone for Eden Prairie, and it looks like number 96, Quinn Coughlin, and he knew it. That'll give Edina a first down by penalty. Though uncharacteristically, 2 penalties against Eden Prairie in the first quarter. They were able to overcome one of them, but the second one gives Edina a first down at the 35-yard line. 43 seconds left first quarter, 3-0 Edina. Be 1st and 10 at the 35.
Yeah, very uncharacteristic to see 2 offsides penalties against the Eden Prairie defense. We were kind of joking last week when they had a couple. It was like the Vikings from a few years ago when they had a number of offsides penalties.
Boltman with a run out of the shotgun, going to jukes his way across the 40. Flags come in. Could be a hold or a block in the back. Montero on the stop for Eden Prairie. Well, this is all being sorted out. I'd like to thank our wonderful sponsors, including the Mulch Store, the Tavern on 4 and 5, the Sun Current, Freesiac, Brandy Warm Beer State Farm Insurance Office, Noodles and Company, XL Fitness, and Red Savoy Pizza. So personal foul against Edina was the initial signal.
Now it's going to be the case of how far they're going to get backed up from this situation.
Still sort of.
Sounds like there was 2 penalties on the play, if I heard the announcer correctly there.
That's what I thought he said, too. I only saw the personal foul signal against Edina.
Yeah, the referees are still trying to sort it out down there on the field.
We have both Boltman and Jermaine Johnson from Eden Prairie down there talking to the officials. But the only signal I saw was that it was against Edina. So that'll back the Hornets way up, 15-yard penalty.
The foul that's enforced is the personal foul on Edina. Moves the ball back to the 26-yard line.
We'll spot the ball on the 26. Not sure if the down counts or not. It will not. It will be 1st and 19 for the Hornets at their own 26. Clock runs, 30 seconds and counting first quarter, 3-0 Edina. As Boltman under center with the single back formation. 2 receivers to his right. And he, little bit of play action, and not fooled was Montero, but he can't bring him down. And then finally, snowed under by a sea of white jerseys and red helmets way back at the 14-yard line. Boltman with an impressive escape act, but he couldn't follow it up, and that's a huge loss, and that'll make it even longer to go for the Edina Hornets offense when we start the second quarter. End of 1 here in Edina, 3-0 Edina with the lead. We're watching high school football on PSB Media.
When you're scrambling through the dinner rush, go with your most delicious option, Red Savoy. Loved by Minnesotans for years, Red Savoy has savory, flavorful sauce that sets their pizza apart. Plus there's more: pasta, salads, sandwiches, and even gluten-free options. Whether delivery, frozen, or take and bake, Red Savoy's got you covered. Plus, check out Red Savoy's catering and fundraising options. It's a surefire way to make your next banquet, meeting, or fundraiser a hit. Find your nearest location and order online at savoypizza.com. The Sun Current is proud to be your community news leader for over 50 years. Each week you can read their in-depth coverage on local government, school district news, high school sports matchups, community events, and newsmakers. The Sun Current's website is now mobile user-friendly and provides breaking local news coverage daily. Check it out at current.mnsun.com.
Yeah, that was a heck of an escape there by Brock Boltman we just saw. And I don't know if you have that replay, Brett, but he made a great play there to stay on his feet, and you're hoping he was going to find somebody open downfield. But that's a situation where it's easy to commentate up here when you're not down there with the bullets flying around. But if he can, when he gets out of that, to try to throw that ball away to avoid that 9-yard loss, that's a tough one for him when they're already in 1st and 20 or whatever it was to start.
Yeah, second of a long distance.
2nd and 32 officially. Boltman out of the spread, 3 receivers to his right, chased from behind and dragged down. He did not see coming from behind. That's Jermaine Johnson on the sack as he just sort of zoomed his way around the Edina offensive line and brings down Boltman, who had no idea he was behind him. And it'll be another loss for Edina. It'll be 3rd and 36 coming up. And you probably won't see much from Edina here other than a simple handoff with 3rd and 36 at your own 9.
Grant Norland, you played football. What do you guys have in your playbook for 3rd and 36?
Oh, boy, not much. Especially not from your own 9-yard line.
And Edina does go that route. Here's a handoff up and a fumble, and recovered by Eden Prairie. And that was Santino Kretz who lost the football. Rodney Cooper with the recovery for Edina, and even with Edina playing it safe, they turn it over. Be 1st and 10 at the 16-yard line for the Eden Prairie offense.
See it right there. You had 4 defenders around the running back, so if you are the ball carrier, you got to anticipate with that many defenders, someone's going to go for that strip.
Boy, that couldn't have happened any worse for the Hornets on that series, going back 30 yards on their 3 plays and then ending in a fumble, giving them the ball inside the 20. That's pretty rough.
High formation for Eden Prairie. Here's a handoff to the up back. That's Green as he crosses the 15 and is breaking tackles and gets inside the 10 to the 9. But once again, Eden Prairie just shrugging off tackles, and they will have a 2nd down and 3 at the Edina 9-yard line.
I'm kind of smelling a touchdown right here. I don't know about you guys.
And I'm smelling one without any balls being put in the air either.
Yeah.
This is going to be a grinded-out touchdown here.
High formation for Eden Prairie. Kyle Connolly is the lone receiver, and here's a pitch out to Falanico. He's got a couple of blockers, and he cuts it into the end zone. Touchdown, Eden Prairie.
Well, apparently my nose still works because I thought I was smelling that correctly.
Well, if you think pizza and touchdowns are about equivalent, I can smell that too. Falanico takes the pitch into the end zone and gives Eden Prairie their first lead of the game as they get on the board at 6-3. So take a look at the swinging gate.
Yeah, look at the blocks on the outside into the end zone, almost untouched. It's an underrated part of that Eden Prairie team, but they are so good at blocking.
Montero's extra point is up, and it is no good. So Eden Prairie gets the touchdown. They don't get the PAT. So 6-3. The Eagles do take the lead, though. 10:27 second quarter. You're watching high school football on PSB Media.
Wild Mustangs. I can't believe we live in the middle of all this.
State Farm knows that for every one of those moments, there's one of these.
Wild Mustangs? I can't believe we live in the middle of all of this.
That's why more people save by combining their home and auto with State Farm to help life go right.
Shop and save with Brandy Warmbeer's State Farm Insurance Office in Eden Prairie. A local connection at a lower cost. BrandyWarmbeer.com. If you're enjoying tonight's football game from the comfort of your own home, why not go out next week and get some great food and also watch Eden Prairie football? The Tavern on 4 and 5 will be showing PSB's broadcasts of Eden Prairie football on the big screen, so check it out. It's the Tavern on 4 and 5.
Back here, Eden Prairie taking the lead on a 9-yard touchdown run by Solo Falanico. To set up by that Edina fumble in the in their own red zone. Eden Prairie getting set to kick off. Lining it up to boot it away. And kicking it deep toward the end zone and fielding it over the shoulder and just aborting launch and taking the touchback, and that's number 13, Izzy Stewart. So Edina will start at the
20-yard line.
I was thinking it was the 20, but you know, since various leagues have sort of been shuffling that touchback start line, I didn't want to speak too soon.
Another message. This one is from Steve. He's watching the game from Bullhead City, Arizona. He says thanks for carrying the game on his computer. His grandkids are currently in school, and he says go EP. So thank you, Steve, for tuning in tonight.
Edina will come out in the I formation, receiver to the left and to the right, and there was a handoff up the middle. And breaking a couple tackles is Ben Brinkman as he's taken down at the 26-yard line, pickup of 6. DJ Johnson on the stop for Eden Prairie, 2nd down and 4 coming up for the Hornets.
I think we're going to see a lot of what the Edina Hornets team is made of on this drive. We're going to see how they react to that tough situation they were put in on that last drive, and it tells a lot about a team, how they respond in situations like this.
So they'll give Brinkman 7. It'll be 2nd and 3 instead. Out of the I again is might have been a broken play that Eden Prairie just sniffed out as Boltman ends up dumping it off to Brent Huffendick, who gets back to about the line of scrimmage, maybe picked up 1. It'll be 3rd down coming up.
Well, that was a heck of a play by Boltman there. You see him with a little homage to another number 4 that we've seen out there on the football field before. That's an old Brett Favre move right there that he popularized, just flipping it underhand, almost like an option pitch forward. Heck of a play right there to keep that play alive.
Edina quickly breaks the huddle, and there's a handoff to Stewart, and he's not going to get the 1st down as he's swallowed up right about the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, that's a tough break because now you've really got no choice but to punt in that position on the field. So.
Yep.
Yeah, it's a tough break there.
Although it looks like they're thinking about it. I don't know what they're doing. There's a little discussion between the coaches down there. Okay, now they're sending the punt team out there.
The only logic I was thinking is that the wind is blowing against them, so maybe they thought they would go for it. But, yeah, this is probably the right decision. You don't want to turn it over in your own territory. And really
Boltman, who triples as the punter as he gets it away. It's kind of a high kick. It'll go and take an Eden Prairie bounce, and it'll be covered up right at the midfield stripe.
Looked like there was a little discussion going on down there on the sideline between the two coaches. They have a new OC this year. Darren Lamker from Osseo is their new offensive coordinator now, and I think he and Boltman there were getting a little exchange over what exactly they were going to do in that situation, but eventually they did end up getting out there and getting that punt off.
Number 34, Matt Kavanaugh, was the one who downed it for Edina. About a 17-yard net after the bounce, and Eden Prairie will go with the offset I, 1 receiver to the left. This time we have a change of quarterback, and there's a fake. That's Cole Kramer in the game at quarterback. He threw 1 pass last week with an incompletion. And headed for Johnson. He did have one-on-one coverage out there. As looks like this will be Kramer's drive.
You see that every once in a while from Eden Prairie. They kind of lull you to sleep with their run game, and then every once in a while they take a shot on 1st down when you don't expect it, but Edina was ready for that one.
Kramer with 1 man in the backfield, 1 receiver to his left on 2nd and 10, and there's a handoff to Falanico as he picks up about 8. Edina thinking the ball was loose. We do have 1 referee signaling stop the clock, but he does eventually signal that it is down by contact, and it will be 3rd down and 2 coming up for the Eagles. 2nd straight drive that they have started essentially in plus territory. Their last drive started at the 16, was capped off with that touchdown on a 2-play drive, and now they have a 3rd and 2 at the 42-yard line of the Hornets. This drive started at midfield after the relatively short punt by Boltman. And it looks like we're going to have a timeout. Timeout, Eden Prairie. Both teams have used 1. Eagles 6, Hornets 3. You're watching high school football on PSB Media.
Freesiac is a locally owned frozen yogurt shop located right by Eden Prairie High School. At Freesiac, they pride themselves on offering you high-quality, locally sourced yogurt, freshly cut fruits, and a wide variety of topping combinations in a family-friendly, hands-on, and fun atmosphere. Both dairy-free and gluten-free options are available too. Frieziak offers 6 carefully chosen flavors of frozen yogurt mixed in-house as the starting point. Then let out your inner dessert artist to create your own one-of-a-kind treat with a wide variety of toppings. And at Frieziak, you pay by the ounce. It's only fair. They also offer a happy hour Monday through Thursday for the last hour of the night where everything in your cup is 31% off. So treat yourself after the EP game tonight and stop by Frieziak. Open till 11 and located just blocks from Eden Prairie High School on 4 and 5.
Third down and 2 for the Hornets, and here's Falanico bursting across the first down, and he will be taken down at the 34-yard line. Pickup of 8 and a big first down as the Eagles are able to move the chains. They started this drive at midfield. So first and 10 coming up from the 34. 7:57 and counting to go, second quarter, 6-3 Eden Prairie with the lead. I formation for the Eagles on first and 10. Once again, a little bit of action up front, and here's a handoff and getting up to about the 30-yard line. Sort of swooping in to take the handoff. It was Graham Teal, and he picks up 3 they'll give him. It'll be 2nd and 7 coming up at the 31. Again, Cole Kramer in the game at quarterback. It'll be his drive. There's a quick handoff up the middle and crossing the 30 and not getting much more than that. Yeah, you gotta get that pile of bodies to move around first before he can. It'll be Devin Green Jr. on the carry. Big third down coming up. Critical third down, I think, for Edina in particular. This 3rd and 6. Sort of playing on their heels a little bit now that Eden Prairie stole the lead kind of right out of the cookie jar. Be 2 in the backfield, loaded up front, and here's a handoff to Falanico, and he stumbles a bit, but still able to get across the marker to pick up the first down. Saw him just kind of stumble a bit as he was going to get the corner. Wasn't sure he was going to get there, but he was able to. Parker Rickard in on the tackle, but a pickup of 7 and a first down.
Yeah, that was a great second effort on that run by Falanico. He willed his way to that first down. That was a nice play.
First and 10 at the 23 for the Eagles. We'll have another stoppage of play and another Eden Prairie timeout, the second one they've taken on this drive. So while we have this timeout, I'd like to remind you that you can make your neighbors green with envy. The Mulch Store has the best compost in the Midwest and will help with all your landscaping needs. Locations in Burnsville, Minnetrista, Rosemount, and Shakopee. Online at mulchstoremn.com. Once again, that's mulchstoremn.com. Well, this impressive drive continuing for Eden Prairie with this first and 10 now at the 23. That's that great second effort by Falanico. And then, of course, those are the kind of plays that really make the difference in games. Those little second effort-like plays that didn't look like he was going to make that corner to get the first down when he's kind of stumbled a bit, but he was able to right himself and able to get the first down and keep the drive going.
Yeah. It's a game of inches, so they say.
No bigger proof than on that play. And Eden Prairie returns to the field. First and 10 at the 23. I formation. 2 receivers will be to the right of Kramer. He fakes a pitch and then sort of fakes a draw and then just lobs it out to a wide open Green Jr. Takes a big hit and goes down at the 10-yard line. It'll pick up a 13.
Well, there was a lot of green space there for that fullback in that play right there.
It sort of looked like they faked a pitch and then they faked a draw play, and then Kramer just rolled out, and of course by then there was plenty of room for Green to pick up a first down. It will be marked as 1st and goal. And here's a pitch out to Falanico again as he's weaves his way inside the 5 and is swarmed down there. 2nd and goal coming up.
Yeah, going back to that play 2 plays ago, that was a nice call by Eden Prairie. Usually when you're a running team like that and you're having success, you can get teams to bite on that type of fake and gain a first down, and now it's set up a 2nd and goal here from the 5-yard line.
Eden Prairie coming out once again. In sort of that pro formation with a stacked line, 2 in the backfield, and here's a handoff and powering his way toward the goal line, but not quite getting in and still fighting is Falanico. He looked like he was headed for pay dirt, and then he was stood up and forced back. Parker Rickert there on the part of the tackle for Edina. And this is about as close as you're going to get. Ball spotted at the 1-yard line, 3rd and goal. So be one of those classic trench plays likely coming up. Do you think, Grant?
Yeah, I think you're pretty right on with that one.
Hand off to Green as he powers his way in. Touchdown, Eden Prairie. 1-yard touchdown run by Devin Green Jr. as Eden Prairie has now scored touchdowns on 2 straight drives. Extra point upcoming, potentially to go up 10.
I think they're going to go for 2 here to try to make up for that missed extra point earlier in the game.
Would be a good call there.
It's funny you bring that up because it seems like every time they miss an extra point, they go for it the next time. I don't think Mike Grant uses one of those score sheets that tells you whether you go for it or not.
And indeed, it looks like they will go for 2. 2 was spread out in the backfield, and there's a botched play. Kramer lobs it toward the end zone and open to catch the 2.
That's the old Fumblerooski right there. What a play.
Do you think they drew it up that way?
I think that's exactly how they drew it up. You know, new turf out here. They know they're going to get a pretty true bounce if he puts it on the turf.
Clayton Witherspoon, the tight end, making the catch in the end zone. 14-3, Eden Prairie does convert the 2.
It was a great heads-up play there by the QB to field that and then find his guy in the end zone in just a split second and get the ball to him. That was a heady play.
You know, sort of at the risk of drawing up some old wounds for our Vikings fans, kind of reminiscent of that Russell Wilson, Doug Baldwin play in the playoff game where Wilson was able to find Baldwin on after the botched snap for a big gain, what likely was what turned that game on its head at that time.
I also want to give credit, too, is that there were no ineligible receivers downfield either. Usually you have a broken play like that, you think you're going to have one of your offensive linemen going down.
Really is. Eden Prairie getting set to kick off, now up 14-3 with 4:48 to go in the first half. Now it might be a critical drive for Edina coming up. Got that 3 early, but since then, sort of some offensive struggles. There's a kick deep. And it looks like that will be Stewart as he gets the corner, crosses the 30-yard line, and is taken down at the 32. Turn of about 22 on that one. So it'll be 1st down and 10 for Edina at their own 32.
I think you said it too there, Patrick. This is a very critical drive for Edina. You feel like they got to get some points on this board. It would be very tough for them to go into halftime down by 2 scores since they haven't necessarily played a poor game. They've just had some mistakes and some breaks that have not gone their way.
Absolutely. 1st and 10, single back formation for Edina. 3 receivers to the left of Boltman. Boltman will go with the little bubble screen, and that'll be Parker Rickert making the catch, and he'll be forced out of bounds about the 37 after a gain of 5. So 2nd down and 5 coming up. Clock not an issue yet, still 4.5 minutes and change left. Edina quickly to the line, bursting out of the huddle. Single back again, here's a pitch out. And this is Rickard, who was swarmed under this time. Tommy Fuller, one of those there for Eden Prairie. And now Edina in some trouble with the third down and very long coming up. Back at the 33, so 3rd and 10. On a drive that they likely need to put something together.
Yeah, just no room to run on that play. They're running into the boundary. Eden Prairie did a nice job of sealing the edge there and just blew that up from the get-go.
Great play by Eden Prairie defense to blow that up. Offset eye this time, one receiver each to the right and left. Boltman deep over the middle, and it short hops the tight end, number 81, Jimmy Connell, who's been the intended target a couple of times tonight. Did have Connell open, but unfortunately short hopped it, and Edina likely with no choice but to punt on 4th and 10 from their own 33-yard line.
Yeah, maybe a good thing that happened. That safety was kind of waiting on that one.
Yeah, that was that could have been disastrous.
That was either going to be an interception or a kill shot over the top there, so probably for the better that landed in the dirt.
Boltman receives a low snap, and it's a fake, and he fires it to Rickard, who makes the catch, but short of the first down. No, he did get the first down.
Does have the first down. Yeah. That's a heck of a play. It's a gutsy call right there.
Absolutely. And that's probably the benefit that you get for having your quarterback double as a punter, is you can run things like that a lot more smoothly than if you're asking your punter to go in the game cold and throw a pass.
Heck of a catch, too, because that receiver knew he was going to be hit immediately to secure that ball as well.
So Edina converts on the fake punt. It'll be 1st and 10 at their own 44. They go back to the spread. 2 receivers to the left, 1 to the right. And we have flags flying.
Oh, geez. Oh, the tight end there. Or was that the tackle? I couldn't tell. He's the tackle. He put his hand down, and then, of course, once you do that, you can't pick it back up off the ground, and he did that. He knew it right away. You see him.
Absolutely. So.
Oh, that's not what happened. I saw that. He just took a step back and a pass that right away.
I kind of like his
little frustration
right
there. Yeah. That's kind of like the programmed Madden response to a guy making a mistake.
So in either case, backs the Hornets up 5 yards, 1st and 15 as Boltman takes the snap with the fake end around and then designed to run up the middle. He'll be stopped at the 41. Pickup of about 3. 2nd down and 12 coming up. Jackson Zaw get on the stop. The converted linebacker from Eden Prairie, played quarterback some last year. This year finds himself exclusively in the linebacker position. 2nd down and 13 coming up from the 42. Single back again, 3 receivers to the right of Boltman. Boltman single step, 3-step drop, fires it and dropped. Jake Boltman, and even if he had caught it, he was not going to pick up much. Although in the 2nd and 12, probably anything will help in that situation. But nonetheless, another 3rd and long coming up for Edina. What if they have another item in their bag of tricks to go for? 2:35 to go, 2nd quarter, 14-3. Eden Prairie in the lead.
Yeah, Edina just has not executed on a couple plays here in this 2nd quarter, and it's really come back to bite them. That's one of the reasons why they're down by 2 scores right now here in the final minutes of the 2nd.
Offset eye, Boltman with a little bit of play action, not finding anyone, sort of scrambling around, stumbling a bit, and then getting swarmed under after picking up maybe 1 yard on the run. Montero and Dan Anderson in on the stop for Eden Prairie. So now it's again another 4th and long for Edina. You already went to the fake punt earlier, so might be too risky to go to that again.
Yeah, and Grant, I don't know if you were looking downfield, but it didn't look like anyone was open there for Boltman.
Yeah, he didn't really have anybody open. He's still got to try to keep his eyes downfield a little better there, though. It's a lot of times when you start scrambling is when some guy comes open, wide open down the field, so you really got to try to keep your eyes up there.
Boltman does punt this time. It's a low-line drive that I think hit a helmet. It goes out of bounds at the Eagles' 39. sounded like it hit off of a helmet. It was a low-line drive and then just sort of floated its way out of bounds at the 39 on the fly.
You'll see it here on the replay. It hit somebody at the line. It definitely took kind of a weird carom.
That's going to leave a mark.
Yeah.
It goes right off that guy's back.
So first down and 10 for the Eagles at their own 39. I formation in the backfield. It's again a little bit of action at the line as it's Matson on the carry. He's back in the game. He'll pick up about 4. Second down and 6 coming up. 1:30 to go in the first half. 1 timeout left for Eden Prairie, 2 for Edina.
And the key here for Edina, just don't give up a 15-yard run, because then you're going to get Eden Prairie starting to think about maybe trying to put some more points on the board. Right now it looks like they're pretty content to go into halftime.
And off to Falanico, who looked like he might have had a little more room than he did as that hole swallowed up in a hurry. He picks up about 2. Be 3rd and 5 coming up as we tick down to 60 seconds and counting.
Well, here we get a look at the infamous Eden Prairie 2-minute offense, which is exactly the same as their regular offense.
2-minute offense, 12-minute offense. I think it's the same.
3rd and 5, and Matson, he actually did drop it this time, and it is recovered by Edina. So that is a critical turnover in minus territory. Edina will take over at the Eden Prairie 40-yard line.
Well, at least gives Boltman one heave to the end zone, so you never know what can happen.
Well, that's huge. Don't they have 41 seconds left?
Oh, 41. I'm looking at my clock.
Yeah.
I thought there was 1 second. So
no.
Yeah.
41. They got time for a few shots at the end zone here.
41 seconds and 2 timeouts, so they can go over the middle. And of course, in high school football, the clock stops on first downs like it does in college. So quite a lot of time for the Hornets to work with, I believe.
I would agree, Patrick, and Boltman's a very good mobile quarterback. He can create something here in this short amount of time.
Boltman will start under center in the I on first down. 1 receiver to his right, 1 to his left, and play is stopped before, and Edina will have to burn a timeout. And that's probably not a good thing to have to burn a timeout in that situation before you can even run a play on this drive.
Yeah, that's not what you want to do right there.
Well, they have, you got to save those timeouts because you have a very good chance to get those points on the scoreboard. So that's a pretty big error by the Edina offense.
So that'll leave Edina with 1 timeout, 41 seconds, ball spotted exactly at the Eden Prairie 40-yard line. Guessing they would probably have to go about 20 yards to think about a field goal. The wind associated with that cold front has sort of died down. There's still a little bit of a breeze, probably not enough to really affect any sort of attempt at this point.
Yeah, probably not, but you still want to go into the end zone here for Edina. Plenty of time with 40 seconds. You got a very good quarterback, and still stop the clock at least once. But that timeout they just burned, certainly can come back to bite them.
Coming out of the timeout, offset I for Edina, 1 receiver left, 1 right. Boltman looking deep, and now finding nothing. He'll take off and get across the 30-yard line. That will be a first down.
Well, that stops the clock, which is critical for the Hornets.
Pickup of 11 for Brock Boltman on 1st and 10. That'll move the stick, stop the clock momentarily. Edina quickly to the line.
That's where on that timeout you got to call 2 plays so you can get right back up and run the next one.
Boltman was looking for a quick hitter, but he didn't even get that off as he goes down in the hands of Dan Anderson.
Wow.
And Edina forced to call their last timeout.
Well, they were late calling that timeout as well. They lost about a good 6 seconds kind of deciding whether they wanted to use that last timeout or not.
I'm not sure what happened there. That was some type of a broken play. Somebody missed a block or
Let's see it here,
miscommunicated a route or something. Because
the offensive line, definitely was not on the same page as Boltman.
He didn't look like he was even ready to throw right there. I'm not sure what that was.
It looked like it was going to be a three-step drop, and I think he was going to try to hit his receiver sort of coming toward the near sideline, but like we said, he didn't even get that far before Dan Anderson was slamming him to the turf.
You said earlier, it's just been Edina's made some good plays, but they've also failed to execute in some really critical situations in the second quarter. Outside of that, they've had some success against these Eagles on both sides of the ball, but there's some very big mistakes that really hurt them.
So it'll be a loss of 5 on the sack, 15 seconds left, and Edina, they still show a timeout on the board. I believe they did call their last one, though, so they should have none.
Wonder if that's what the referee, he's kind of glancing at the scoreboard right now. Maybe he's noticing that too.
That's the old hometown clock operator right there.
Well, they did put 3 seconds back up. Now it's 18 seconds. 2nd and 15. They still show that timeout, though. Boltman out of the shotgun, looking again, and he is going to go down at the 40-yard line. Jackson Zog in on the sack, and that looks like that's going to do it for the first half. Edina trying to get up to run another play, and they will not be able to as the second quarter clock runs out, and that ends the first half here at the Edina Community Center. Eden Prairie scoring 2 touchdowns off of 2 short fields to take the lead 14-3 at halftime. Once again, you're watching high school football on PSB Media.
Freesiac is a locally owned frozen yogurt shop located right by Eden Prairie High School. At Freesiac, they pride themselves on offering you high-quality, locally sourced yogurt, freshly cut fruits, and a wide variety of topping combinations in a family-friendly, hands-on, and fun atmosphere. Both dairy-free and gluten-free options are available too. Freesiac offers 6 carefully chosen flavors of frozen yogurt mixed in-house as the starting point. Then let out your inner dessert artist to create your own one-of-a-kind treat with a wide variety of toppings. And at Freesiac, you pay by the ounce. It's only fair. They also offer a happy hour Monday through Thursday for the last hour of the night where everything in your cup is 31% off. So treat yourself after the EP game tonight and stop by Freesiac. Open till 11 and located just blocks from Eden Prairie High School on 4 and 5.
When you're scrambling through the dinner rush, go with your most delicious option, Red Savoy. Loved by Minnesotans for years, Red Savoy has savory, flavorful sauce that sets their pizza apart. Plus there's more, pasta, salads, sandwiches, and even gluten-free options. Whether delivery, frozen, or take and bake, Red Savoy's got you covered. Plus, check out Red Savoy's catering and fundraising options. It's a surefire way to make your next banquet, meeting, or fundraiser a hit. Find your nearest location and order online at SavoyPizza.com.
Woohoo! This is the best dirt bath ever!
Larry, what's with all that racket?
I'm loving my new digs. This compost is amazing. Come on in, give it a try.
What are you talking about? Oh, yeah, you weren't kidding, Larry. This stuff is great.
The Mulch Store has compost your garden, and yes, even the worms will love. Stop by any of the Mulch Store locations in Burnsville, Minnetrista, Rosemount, and Shakopee to pick up the best compost in the Midwest. Online at mulchstoremn.com. Also shop rocks, seed, soil, edging, and more. Now's the time to make your neighbors green with envy.
Store locations in Burnsville, Minnetrista, Rosemount, and Shakopee.
Stream your games in HD like the pros. Have a game you want streamed? PSB is here to help. PSB offers its HD streaming services to meet your request, whether you want one game, a tournament, or even an entire season's worth of games live streamed. Every broadcast features professional play-by-play announcers, instant replay, on-screen graphics, multiple camera angles, and much more. Plus, you can even make money from broadcasting. By having PSB stream your games, you create an opportunity to bring in additional revenue to your team or booster club. You can make money from pay-per-view broadcasts, DVD and digital download sales of the broadcasts, and even control of the advertising space on the broadcasts. So what are you waiting for? Get your team on air and stream in HD like the pros. Contact production at psbmn.com to get started today.
The Sun Current is proud to be your community news leader for over 50 years. Each week you can read their in-depth coverage on local government, school district news, high school sports matchups, community events, and newsmakers. The Sun Current's website is now mobile user-friendly and provides breaking local news coverage daily. Check it out at current.mnsun.com.
Great food and great sports. It's the Tavern on 4 and 5 in Eden Prairie. This season, the Tavern on 4 and 5 will be showing PSB broadcasts of Eden Prairie football and hockey on their big screen TVs. So make it a night out. Get some great food while watching your Eden Prairie Eagles at the Tavern on 4 and 5. Some of their classics include the Mediterranean Pizza, Tavern Turkey Burger, as well as delicious breakfasts that are served 7 days a week. That's the Tavern on 4 and 5, just blocks from Eden Prairie High School.
Well, I love it. This piece is so you. I know, right? I saw it and I was just like, oh, I have to have it. Is it suede? Suede. Love suede.
State Farm knows that for every one of those moments, there's one of these.
Well, I love it. This piece is so you. I know, right? I saw it and I was like, have to have it. Is it suede? It's suede. I love suede.
That's why we're there with renter's insurance when things go wrong, but also here with a rewards credit card to help life go right. State Farm.
Shop and save with Brandy Warmbeer's State Farm Insurance Office in Eden Prairie, a local connection at a lower cost. BrandyWarmbeer.com.
During this break in the action, I'd like to thank you for watching and ask for your assistance. In addition to live streaming games like this one, PSB Media also produces video commercials for clients. If someone you know is trying to grow their business, tell them to consider contacting production at psbmn.com. The internet is a powerful marketing tool, but due to its size, it can be difficult for messages to reach the right ears. Optimize their valuable time and money. PSB Video will help drive localized traffic to the client's website. Using keyword-driven content, PSB Video can improve where businesses appear in search results. Nearer to the top results means more clicks and more business. So please, tell those business owners you know to work smarter, not harder, by considering PSB Production. Find out more by emailing production at psbmn.com.
You back. Is this my car?
State Farm knows that for every one of those moments,
This is ridiculous!
there's one of these.
Is this my car? What? This is ridiculous.
This can't be happening!
This can't be happening.
Oh, it's happening, sweetheart.
Oh, it's happening, sweetheart.
Shut up.
Shut up!
That's why State Farm is there.
What a day.
With car insurance for when things go wrong.
What a day!
But also here with car loans to help life go right. State Farm.
When you're scrambling through the dinner rush, go with your most delicious option, Red Savoy. Loved by Minnesotans for years, Red Savoy has savory, flavorful sauce that sets their pizza apart. Plus there's more: pasta, salads, sandwiches, and even gluten-free options. Whether delivery, frozen, or take and bake, Red Savoy's got you covered. Plus, check out Red Savoy's catering and fundraising options. It's a surefire way to make your next banquet, meeting, or fundraiser a hit. Find your nearest location and order online at savoypizza.com.
Freeziac is a locally owned frozen yogurt shop located right by Eden Prairie High School. At Freesiac, they pride themselves on offering you high-quality, locally sourced yogurt, freshly cut fruits, and a wide variety of topping combinations in a family-friendly, hands-on, and fun atmosphere. Both dairy-free and gluten-free options are available too. Freesiac offers 6 carefully chosen flavors of frozen yogurt mixed in-house as the starting point. Then let out your inner dessert artist to create your own one-of-a-kind treat with a wide variety of toppings. And at Freesiac, you pay by the ounce. It's only fair. They also offer a happy hour Monday through Thursday for the last hour of the night where everything in your cup is 31% off. So treat yourself after the EP game tonight and stop by Freesiac. Open till 11 and located just blocks from Eden Prairie High School on 4 and 5.
We're speaking with Rob Friend at the mulch store. Rob, once people have finished up trimming those trees or raking those leaves, how easy is it for them to stop in at the mulch store to drop off those materials, or maybe even pick up some mulch for next year?
Well, if you want to stop in and drop off, you come in, check in at the gate attendant, and they'll point you in the right direction after you pay a small fee. And if you're ready to pick up something to do a final garden or mulch project, pick out the product you want, pay for the fee, and we'll load up a trailer or a pickup truck if you have that. If not, we do have delivery available.
And of course, you guys have locations all over the metro area.
That's right. For locations and more information on delivery, you can check us out at our website, mulchstoremn.com.
Great food and great sports. It's the Tavern on 4 and 5 in Eden Prairie. This season, the Tavern on 4 and 5 will be showing PSB broadcasts of Eden Prairie football and hockey on their big screen TVs. So make it a night out. Get some great food while watching your Eden Prairie Eagles at the Tavern on 4 and 5. Some of their classics include the Mediterranean Pizza, Tavern Turkey Burger, as well as delicious breakfasts that are served 7 days a week. That's the Tavern on 4 and 5, just blocks from Eden Prairie High School.
Freesiac is a locally owned frozen yogurt shop located right by Eden Prairie High School. At Freesiac, they pride themselves on offering you high-quality, locally sourced yogurt, freshly cut fruits, and a wide variety of topping combinations in a family-friendly, hands-on, and fun atmosphere. Both dairy-free and gluten-free options are available too. Freesiac offers 6 carefully chosen flavors of frozen yogurt mixed in-house as the starting point. Then let out your inner dessert artist to create your own one-of-a-kind treat with a wide variety of toppings. And at Freesiac, you pay by the ounce. It's only fair. They also offer a happy hour Monday through Thursday for the last hour of the night where everything in your cup is 31% off. So treat yourself after the EP game tonight and stop by Freesiac. Open till 11 and located just blocks from Eden Prairie High School on 4 and 5.
When you're scrambling through the dinner rush, go with your most delicious option, Red Savoy. Loved by Minnesotans for years, Red Savoy has savory, flavorful sauce that sets their pizza apart. Plus there's more, pasta, salads, sandwiches, and even gluten-free options. Whether delivery, frozen, or take and bake, Red Savoy's got you covered. Plus check out Red Savoy's catering and fundraising options. It's a surefire way to make your next banquet, meeting, or fundraiser a hit. Find your nearest location and order online at SavoyPizza.com.
Woohoo! This is the best dirt bath ever!
Larry, what's with all that racket?
I'm loving my new digs. This compost is amazing. Come on in, give it a try.
What are you talking about? Oh, yeah. You weren't kidding, Larry. This stuff is great.
The Mulch Store has compost your garden, and yes, even the worms will love. Stop by any of the Mulch Store locations in Burnsville, Minnetrista, Rosemount, and Shakopee to pick up the best compost in the Midwest. Online at mulchstoremn.com. Also shop rocks, seed, soil, edging, and more. Now's the time to make your neighbors green with envy.
Store locations in Burnsville, Minnetrista, Rosemount, and Shakopee.
Stream your games in HD like the pros. Have a game you want streamed? PSB is here to help. PSB offers its HD streaming services to meet your request, whether you want one game, a tournament, or even an entire season's worth of games live streamed. Every broadcast features professional play-by-play announcers, instant replay, on-screen graphics, multiple camera angles, and much more. Plus, you can even make money from broadcasting. By having PSB stream your games, you create an opportunity to bring in additional revenue to your team or booster club. You can make money from pay-per-view broadcasts, DVD and digital download sales of the broadcasts, and even control of the advertising space on the broadcasts. So what are you waiting for? Get your team on air and stream in HD like the pros. Contact production at psbmn.com to get started today.
The Sun Current is proud to be your community news leader for over 50 years. Each week you can read their in-depth coverage on local government, school district news, high school sports matchups, community events, and newsmakers. The Sun Current's website is now mobile user-friendly and provides breaking local news coverage daily. Check it out at current.mnsun.com.
Great food and great sports. It's the Tavern on 4 and 5 in Eden Prairie. This season, the Tavern on 4 and 5 will be showing PSB broadcasts of Eden Prairie football and hockey on their big screen TVs. So make it a night out. Get some great food while watching your Eden Prairie Eagles at the Tavern on.
Back here at the Edina Community Center, getting set to start the second half. Matt Rice getting set to kick off for Edina. 14-3, Eden Prairie in the lead as Rice kicks it deep into a wind that has really picked up over halftime. And it'll be Falanico returning it from about the 1 as he dances around, still on his feet as he crosses the 25, gets across the 30, and is finally brought down at about the 34. As the Eden Prairie offense takes the field, we'll let you know about Brandy Warm Beer, State Farm Insurance Office. Covering the Southwest Metro, she will save you hundreds with the discount double check. Whether it's auto, renters, home, or life, Brandy will get you all the best deals. Brandy Warm Beer, local connection, lower cost. Visit brandywarmbeer.com. Well, 1st and 10 for Eden Prairie at the 34-yard line. In I formation with one receiver, be Jermaine Johnson up to the right of Matson. Is quickly up the middle, blasting through is Falanico again. Excuse me, I think that is Graham Teal, excuse me, but nonetheless, same result that they've been getting no matter who they've plugged in back there as Teal picks up 7, 2nd down and 3 coming up from the 42.
Yeah, you got a feeling right here that this drive could kind of decide whether Edina is going to stay in this football game or not. We've seen this so often where Eden Prairie can have these third quarter drives to start a half where they just go 11 or 12 plays and take 7 minutes off the clock and score a touchdown.
High formation handoff to the up man, that's Green, and he will be stopped about a half-yard shy of the first down. 3rd and half a yard coming up, and that's, as we saw several times in the first half, that's just the way Eden Prairie likes it with these 3rd and 1s, 3rd and 2s, and that's where they will get you.
I think they actually gave him the first down right there. That was a really generous spot from where it looked like he got tackled. So
absolutely. So instead it will be a first down at the Eden Prairie 45. I formation look again. Into the there's another drop snap still on the ground. It'll be recovered by Edina. Another critical turnover coming at a bad time. They had one at the end of the first half in negative territory that didn't come back to hurt them, but now they turn it over again, and it'll be Edina's ball, 1st and 10 at the Eden Prairie 43.
Let's take, it's like a little problem there on the quarterback-center exchange, which is, Patrick, something we saw happen last week as well. That was an issue for Eden Prairie.
Absolutely. And you kind of brush it off in week 1 as, some of the new parts that, invariably pop up on a team with graduations, but week 2 probably a little bit more troubling to see if you're Mike Grant, as Boltman on the screen to Rickard as he breaks through the line, gets a couple of good blocks, and Rickard will be stopped right at the first down marker after a gain of 10. Should be a play that'll move the sticks, and Edina comes out and picks up 10 on what is a critical drive with the infusion of life that they just received from that turnover. It will be a first down and 10 at the 33-yard line.
That's good for a Hornets first down.
Yeah, I really think this is a crucial possession for the Edina Hornets right here. They've got to set the tone for the second half right here.
And they just cannot have a major negative play like they've had a couple of times on these types of drives.
Boltman out of the shotgun tries to roll to his right, but he is swarmed down as Eden Prairie's defense is not fooled. Boltman will lose about 3 or 4.
Well, kind of on cue, I said they can't have a major negative play, and there they lose 4 yards, and it sets them up for another long situation on 2nd down.
Tommy Fuller in there on the stop for Eden Prairie, 2nd down and 14 upcoming. Just underway in the 3rd quarter, 9:47 and counting. 14-3 Eden Prairie in the lead, but just having turned it over. Single back set, 3 receivers to the right of Boltman, who now would drop back into the shotgun with Ben Brinkman to his left, and he does hand it off to Brinkman, who cuts across the 35. Picks up about 4 yards, and it'll be a 3rd down and about 10 upcoming. Getting back right about to where the original line of scrimmage was when they started this set of downs. And we'll give them 3. It'll be 3rd and 11. The 3rd and long was something that Edina found themselves in quite frequently in the latter stages of the 2nd quarter. As Boltman with the single back set, 3 receivers will try the screen again, and it's not fooled. Did not fool Eden Prairie at all. They were there to blow that up right away, and that was lucky that was not a pick 6 the other way, the way that thing bounced up.
That's exactly right. That was very close to being 6 the other way right there. Kind of a dangerous pass. You see them lining up with their trips receivers to the boundary on every play, meaning they're onto the short side of the field, and that's kind of confusing to me. A lot of times you see the teams line up with their single receiver to that side and trips to the field side where there's more space for them to work. So they're really crunching down on that sideline. Not a lot of field to work with there. We'll see if they change that up at all here.
It's also a penalty on Edina that resulted in a loss of down. I'm not sure what it was, but now it'll be 4th and 21 and Edina having to go for it. 4th and 21 from their own 44. Boltman looking, and he's got a man, and it's caught by Rickard, and he'll have a first down out of bounds at the 13-yard line. So Edina somehow manages to get out of that and gets a first down in the red zone on a 4th and 21.
Well, another little Brett Favre move right there, just throwing an absolute rope down the right sideline right there. That was a heck of a pass right when they needed it.
See a lot of strength on that. Don't quite have it on the camera, but you can see him get a lot of oomph on that throw.
Gain of 31 on 4th and 21, I formation, and here's a handoff to Brinkman, and he stood up right at the line of scrimmage and taken down there. The 2nd down and 10 upcoming. Montero in on the stop for Eden Prairie. You know, Rickard and Boltman are their money players, and that's where they went on 4th down, and they made it count when they really needed to. Second and 10 at the 13. Play clock running down to 3 as now Edina's going to have to burn a timeout. Play clock was just about to expire. It looked like they might have been set to take the snap, but no chances taken. Edina takes a timeout. They couldn't afford to lose that 5 yards in this situation.
I think that's the 3rd timeout they've taken in that type of a situation right there, where they just weren't quite set as the play clock was running down. So that's something they really got to clean up in practice, is their tempo and getting to the line of scrimmage in time so that they can get plays off without burning those critical timeouts. Those things could really come back to haunt you later in the game because it's still so early in the second half.
Oh, we're in our timeout. We'll let you know. If you're looking to get in great shape at an unbelievable cost, check out XL Fitness, located just 3 minutes from Eden Prairie High School. XL offers 24/7 gym access with memberships as low as $19.99 a month, as well as one-on-one personal training, group training, boot camp, and yoga classes. Call 952-334-4594 or visit xlfitnessmn.com to get started today. Now 2nd and 10 for Edina at the Eden Prairie 13. Boltman out of the single back set. 3 receivers to the right, and he's once again hurried right off of the line, and he manages to escape and dives down inside the 10 to about the 7. It'll be 3rd and about 4 upcoming. Looks like another broken play up front, and Boltman, running for his life, managed to make something out of nothing.
Well, that he certainly did right there, kind of sneaking through and almost got sacked immediately after the snap, and good job to turn that into a positive play.
3rd and 4 at the 7. Edina going to a little bit of a bigger look for this play. Center one receiver to the right, one to the left, and here's a pitch out. That's Rickard, and he will be swarmed down for a loss of about 2. And once again, a critical 4th down upcoming for Edina as the pitch play on 3rd and 4 goes nowhere.
Yeah, and once again, you see them going right into the boundary there, which is interesting because, you know, in high school, with the way the hashes are set, the field is divided into perfect thirds, whereas in college and pro, they're closer. So you've got more field to work with even when you're on the hash there. So really, you're only playing on a third of a football field right there, which really crunches down your spacing and doesn't allow for a lot of room to work.
Oh, personal foul against Eden
that's a
Prairie.
huge break.
Yeah, because you were going to have Edina into a pretty big decision whether they would go for it on 4th and 6 or kick a field goal and make this a 1-score game, but not going to even force them into that decision, as Edina should pick up a first down if that indeed is a personal foul against the Eagles.
There's some conversation now down on the sideline. Referees going over to the Edina coaching staff.
I didn't see what happened there. Now that has to be a first down, right?
I think it would be. The ball spotted at the 5-yard line.
Not a first down, though. I'm confused by that. That's similar to that pass interference in the end zone, which was in the first down, so.
Yeah, that doesn't make any sense. That has to be a first down. Unless
they keep the down, too. That wouldn't make sense either, because if a personal foul is after the play and you're not going to give them the first down, then it should be fourth. Keeping it third, yeah, it doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, it should be an automatic first down.
Now it's been changed. It'll be 3rd down and 2. So sort of curious how.
That's bizarre, unless they rewrote something in the rules.
You wonder.
I don't think that's right.
Oh.
Guess we'll have to go look that up after the game, because all 3 of us are. No, I know you guys have been around high school football a lot more than I have, but that just seems sort of given that sort of penalty would be an automatic first down, as we have another stoppage of play. Another timeout taken by Edina.
Whoa, boy.
And, you just got to kind of wonder about the, well, first off, how the penalties don't result in a first down, and then I think that probably factors into what Edina's trying to plan, given that they didn't get a first down, so they really only have, 1 or 2 plays that really should be 3 or 4. But now they're forced to burn their second timeout on this drive, and they will have just 1 left for the final 19 minutes and change of this game.
Yeah, 2 timeouts used already in the third quarter, but I'm still going back to how that's not a first down. This is an interesting interpretation of rules we've seen from the officials.
It doesn't make any sense, because anywhere else on the field, that's a 15-yard penalty, and it's going to result in a first down. So here you just keep your down, and I don't know. I'm going to have to look that up, because that must be correct, or they wouldn't be running it that way, or the Edina coaches would be going berserk about it on the sideline.
If it's correct, it doesn't make sense, because you're almost punished for being in the red zone with half the distance to the goal.
Right. Exactly. You get no benefit from that. I mean, your goal on defense then is just to commit penalties if they're going to score, because if that's what stops them, there's no benefit.
As it is, 3rd and 2, I formation. Edina handoff to Brinkman as he fights his way toward the first down, and he will get it by about a yard. So after all is said and done, Edina does get a 1st and goal. Will be a 1st and goal at the 2-yard line. Brinkman with that 3-yard run on 3rd and 2, and Edina able to pick up that critical first down, trying to punch it in down 14-3. Edina quickly to the line, I formation again behind Boltman. Here's a handoff to Brinkman as he tries to leap over, and he will not quite get in. He will be stopped after about a yard gain. Just trying to surge his way over the top of the pile, instead sort of flipped a little bit and unable to get any further than that 1 yard.
2nd and goal from the 1.
Boltman returning to the huddle with the instructions from the sideline. We go with the I formation again. Brinkman in the backfield as the tailback. There's a handoff to Brinkman again, and he is stood up at the goal line. No gain. 3rd and goal upcoming.
You'd think 4 plays at the 1-yard line, you'd be able to cash in, but the Eden Prairie defense really doing a nice job.
Kind of quick to the line. They will try this time. It'll be Boltman trying to go off tackle to the left, and he will not get in. Stood up again.
Yeah.
Great defensive series by Eden Prairie, regardless of what happens on 4th down.
Yeah, that was not a well-executed QB sneak right there. When you sneak that, you've got to pick a side of the center's butt and just lunge forward through there. He tried to take that around the end, and that's a risky move on a QB sneak.
So we'll go back to what we talked about earlier when Devin Green scored for Eden Prairie. It'll be kind of that trench play. Have Brinkman in the backfield, I formation, 4th down and goal, and Brinkman is not going to get in.
Wow. What a stand.
That will pump up your defense and your team for sure.
What a critical blow for Edina after they overcame that 4th and 21. Had a 1st and goal at the 2, 4 straight run plays, and they do not get in the end zone, and their drive ends with nothing.
Not a whole lot of push from that offensive line as we see on the replay. And give Eden Prairie credit, 4 stops on the 1-yard line. That is...
Yeah, that's one of those situations where you say, if you can't score from there, I don't know if you deserve to win.
Well, of course, Eden Prairie likely to play it safe, and we'll have flags before any play happens. And you kind of wonder now how much further Eden Prairie can even back up in this situation. It's a false start.
Well, you got to be careful here not to get any penalties in the end zone too, and you're going to have it 1st and 10 from the 6-inch line or whatever you want to call it.
That's already where they are.
The 3-inch line?
Yeah.
No,
fairly inconsequential.
No, the penalty won't even change the distance. It'll still be a 1st and 10 from their own 1-yard line.
1st and 10 and 3 inches.
Eden Prairie out of the eye. And just a handoff to the up back Green.
Ooh.
And he will,
are they saying he's in the end zone?
No, he was stopped at about the line of scrimmage. We did have an Edina player, at least one that I saw, signaling safety. Well, for the I formation again. And we have flags coming out again before the snap.
Not the way if you drew it up here for the Eden Prairie offense. You get that goal line stand. And
look at that ref down there trying to step that off. He was like inching forward. Can't even put one foot over the other.
Got to bring a little kid out for that situation. Steps.
Well, if there's any Hawkeye fans listening, that goal line stand reminded me of that game when Iowa played against Syracuse and stopped them 7 straight plays from the 1-yard line.
Eden Prairie going to go deep down the field on a little bit of a play action.
Well, they tried to catch him for a surprise.
DJ Johnson was headed down the field and did have a step. Fortunately, the pass just a little bit long from Matson. 3rd down and 10 upcoming from their own 1-yard line for the Hornets after they stopped Edina on 4th and goal.
It's funny, we've had them combined 6 running plays, and I think we've gained maybe 3 inches from those runs combined for both teams.
That's a good point, Brett.
Sort of a risky play there, and throwing it over the...
Oh, boy.
And making the catch for a 1st down is the tight end. Number 86, Blake Witherspoon, who was the guy who caught the 2-point conversion earlier on the broken play. Sort of looked like it was going to be a disaster in the beginning as Matson was immediately flushed from the pocket, but Witherspoon came open. It'll be a gain of 23 and a big 1st down for the Eagles.
Yeah, that was a huge play like there. Like you said, Brett, it's kind of a stalemate at the 1-yard line there for 6 or 7 straight plays, and then followed up with that.
1st and 10 from the 24, and breaking it up the middle across the 30 is Falanico. Pick up 6 yards, 2nd down and 4 upcoming. As we go under 3:40 to go in the 3rd quarter and a 14-3 lead for Eden Prairie.
Yeah, no scoring in this quarter, but certainly a lot of action and some very critical moments.
High formation for the Eagles. Handoff to the up back, that's Green as he crosses the 35 up to the 40 and down at the 41, but there are flags down in the backfield. So this one likely coming back. Wait to see what the verdict is. And it is an illegal formation against Eden Prairie. So that will nullify that 1st down run. We'll set the Eagles back to 1st and 15.
False start, and they still ran the play. Must have been a very quiet whistle.
Brings the ball back to the 25-yard line.
2nd down and 9 now after the penalty at the Eagles 25. High formation again. One receiver to the left of Connolly as he just hands it to his up man, and that's Green, and he powers his way back toward the sticks. Looks like he'll be a little bit short, but it should be about 3rd and 1 upcoming.
Stop by Johnny Waddle.
Well, you would say normally 3rd and 1, an automatic situation, but well, the way these teams have been stopping the run here in this 3rd quarter in short yardage situations.
Eden Prairie taking their time in the huddle, getting the personnel that they want on the field. 10 seconds on the play clock. With that close look, all they need is a yard, and there's a handoff to Green as he spins out of a tackle. He'll have the 1st down, gain of 3. Eden Prairie moves the chains. They start thinking about maybe milking a little bit more clock, up 11, 2:12 to go and counting now in the 3rd quarter after they pick up that 1st down. It'll be 1st and 10 at the 38-yard line.
Yeah, you said it, Patrick. Milking the clock definitely part of their strategy here. If they can rattle off 6 or 7 minutes and get some points on the board, that one might put this out of reach for Edina.
High formation again. Jermaine Johnson, the receiver to the left, and here's a handoff up the middle, and bursting ahead is Teal. He'll have a gain of 9. Excuse me, that's Hunter Obert. Haven't called his name yet tonight. He picks up 9 on his first carry of the game. One of the returning running backs for Mike Grant's squad from last year. Actually, their leading returning rusher from last year. I believe he had 232 rushing yards. Of course, J.D. Spielman and Alec Hetherington both graduated. There's a handoff to Green as he crosses the 1st down and crosses midfield into Hornet territory. Pick up about 6 or 7. Up to the Edina 48-yard line. Another 1st down. And I think Eden Prairie really has Edina right where they want them right now with 1:05 left to go in the 3rd quarter.
They do. We've seen this one so many times.
High formation again for the Eagles. And here's a pitch out. And bouncing off a tackle is Teal this time correctly. Picks up about 1 after all is said and done on the pitch. So 2nd down and 9 upcoming, but that clock running, 35 seconds and counting. 2nd down and 9 at the 47 of Edina. Close formation as here's a end around. That'll be Teal again, and this time he will pick up about 2, and he's already is shoved back by those Kelly green jerseys. That'll be the final play of the 3rd quarter. So a lot of action, but no scoring, as Eden Prairie will go to the 4th quarter maintaining the status quo. Eagles 14, Hornets 3. You are watching high school football on PSB Media.
Every morning, Jack wakes up before anybody else in his family. He makes a strong cup of coffee, and at 6:30 sharp, he goes outside to grab the local newspaper. No one knows your neighborhood like you do. Neighborhood Assist 2016 is coming.
Shop and save with Brandy Warmbeer's State Farm Insurance Office in Eden Prairie, a local connection at a lower cost. BrandyWarmbeer.com. If you're enjoying tonight's football game from the comfort of your own home, why not go out next week and get some great food and also watch Eden Prairie football? The Tavern on 4 and 5 will be showing PSB's broadcasts of Eden Prairie football on the big screen, so check it out. It's the Tavern on 4 and 5.
back here at the Edina Community Center, As we get the fourth quarter started, we'll let you know that you can get great food and great sports. It's the Tavern on 4 and 5 in Eden Prairie. This season, the Tavern on 4 and 5 is showing PSB's live broadcasts of EP football on their big screen TVs. So stop by, get some delicious food, and watch the EP Eagles at the Tavern on 4 and 5. So if you aren't already there, make sure to join them next week. So we see a little bit of reverse action on the first play of the fourth. It'll be Solo Falanico who ends up with the pitch and picking up a gain of about 3. It'll be fourth down, and Eden Prairie likely to punt here with a 14-3 lead, 11:35 and counting to go in the fourth quarter. We haven't seen Eden Prairie punt yet tonight, but this is an area that they struggled in very mightily last week. Had a punt blocked, 2 others altered dramatically by pressure. None this time as Montero gets it off, and it will bounce into the end zone for a touchback.
Boy, Patrick, I don't know what he practiced this week, but that was light years different from the style of punts he had last week when he had, you said, the blocked punt, another near block, and about 3 shanks off the side of his foot. That was a booming punt.
Absolutely, it'll net about 27 on the punt. It'll be 1st and 10 for Edina at their own 20.
The punter, historically a underutilized position for the Eagles.
Yeah.
I think they probably average, like 1 punt a game? So it's tough to get in a rhythm as a punter when you get your opportunity once or twice a game.
Edina comes back on offense, and they will go with a shotgun 2 running back set, 1 receiver to the left and to the right of Boltman, and it'll be Brinkman out of the shotgun handoff, and we'll have a flag come in as he picks up maybe back to the line of scrimmage. But once again, another flag down. Seen quite a few of those in this game. Sort of, as we mentioned earlier, Edina struggled with these last week. Sort of uncharacteristic for Eden Prairie to struggle with those, but there have been a few yellow hankies thrown in their direction tonight as well. And another Eden Prairie penalty, another personal foul. It'll be a 15-yarder, and that'll just what Eden Prairie does not want. It'll give Edina free real estate and a first down at their own 35.
Tell you what, guys, Edina's still kind of hanging around in this game, aren't they? It feels like Eden Prairie's been on the verge of maybe breaking this open a couple times, but
and that's also
hung with them.
Also, I think the 3rd personal foul on Eden Prairie tonight, so a little bit of undisciplined play, to be frank about it. Boltman scrambles up, and he will pick up about, they will give him a first down. So, first down at the Edina 46, but uncharacteristic, as we said, 3 personal fouls against Eden Prairie tonight. First and 10, offset I for Edina, 1 receiver to the left and to the right. As Boltman looked deep, was rushed, now has to tuck it, tries to get some what he can, and does end up with about a 3-yard gain. Montero in on the stop. It'll be 2nd down and about 7. 10-11 to go in the fourth quarter.
We've seen a lot from Brock Boltman tonight in terms of his arm strength and his athleticism. You see some of the flashes of why he's a Division I recruit going to North Dakota next year.
I formation. There's Boltman with a straight drop, and he's hurried. There's a flag goes down as Boltman goes down. And that's Dan Anderson in on the sack for the Eagles. Wouldn't be surprised if that was just a hold to try to save Boltman from going to the turf, and even that didn't help.
Yeah, Boltman's certainly been harassed in this game.
Another penalty against Eden Prairie. Now the 4th personal foul against Eden Prairie tonight.
Not sure what that one was for.
Might have been a face mask. Of course, sometimes you're trying to get that guy who's scrambling. Every once in a while, unfortunately, you grab a handful of mass, whether you intend to or not. That'll move it into Eden Prairie territory. First down at the Eagle 41. Shotgun set, 3 receivers for Boltman. He takes a snap, designed run, but he's going to be snowed under for about a loss of 1. Montero again in on the stop for Eden Prairie.
Loss of 1. Second and 11 from the 42.
And a two running back shotgun set, receiver left, receiver right. As Boltman drops back, quick fires over the middle. He's got a man breaking a tackle and getting into the red zone. Is Jimmy Connell. He's looked for Connell several times tonight. That's the biggest play of the night for Boltman to Connell. It'll get Edina into the red zone. 26-yard pass play, 1st and 10 at the Eden Prairie 16. And as you said, Brett, Edina kind of hanging around. Now they're threatening to actually do some damage, and still plenty of time as we just ticked under 9 minutes to go.
Yeah, well-designed play there for Edina. As you said, they're hanging around in this game. If they can come away with a touchdown, pressure really moves to Eden Prairie. Well, certainly. Wonder if that kind of gets in their back of their head, thinking we can't start 0-2. That's almost never happened at Eden Prairie.
2 running back set in the shotgun, 1 receiver right, 1 left. As Boltman takes a snap, looks, now fires it, intended for maybe Jake Boltman, but it sort of short hops him and incomplete. 2nd down and 10 upcoming at the 16. 8:39 to go, 14-3, Eden Prairie with the lead, but in danger of having that lead cut. Second and 10 from the 16. Edina will appear to go into a single back set, 2 receivers. Receiver going in motion, he'll take the end around. That's Rickard, and not fooled are the Eden Prairie defenders, and he will be dragged down for a loss of about 5. So a 3rd and long coming up in a critical situation for the Hornets, as Rickard will lose 5.
Just nowhere to go on that run. You see the Eden Prairie defense stay disciplined on that outside, defeat their blocks, keep their outside hand free, and just string that out for a 4-yard loss. Really nicely executed play by the defense as a team.
It'll be 3rd and 15 from the 22. Boltman gets his instructions, returns to the huddle. Go to a 3 wide receiver set. 2 receivers to the left, 1 to the right. Boltman back, fires it, and it's caught inside the 10-yard line and down inside the 5. It's number 9, Hoofendick. We've called his name once tonight, but he makes a huge play in that situation. The 1st and goal at the 4-yard line for the Hornets. Pickup of 18 on 3rd and 15.
That's good for a Hornets. First down.
So we see Nick Bloom come into the game for the we have a stoppage, maybe a...
Well, this could be another timeout for Edina, possibly.
No,
looked like
I
it was
don't
an
think
official
so.
timeout with the signal. Maybe an issue with the spot of the ball.
Well, it's been a little bit of an up and down performance for Edina and their quarterback tonight, but you can see they've come through in some big situations right there. You saw on that 4th and long earlier where he threw that rope down the sideline for a 1st down, and now critical 3rd down late in the game where it's 3rd and 14 or 15, and they just get enough for that 1st down to stay alive.
Up and down, certainly. I think a good way to describe their performance. They've had some really ugly situations, but also come up with some big plays as well. Very much a Jekyll and Hyde type of performance here for the Hornets.
boy, what is going on?
Signaling to reset the play clock. Although I think it was already at 25 when the signal was given.
They can't quite seem to figure out what's going on here.
So finally now we will have 1st and goal from the 4-yard line. Go to the big package for Edina as the handoff to Brinkman as he gets up to the 1-yard line. And, you know, we saw how the
familiar territory
here.
Here.
Line went on their last drive in this area. That was at the other end of the field. But once again, it'll be 2nd and goal at the 1. 7:45 to go. 14-3 Eden Prairie. The handoff to Brinkman, and he once again is stonewalled at the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, and that's where you've got to go to that little play action, little fake up the middle and then roll out. You got a really athletic quarterback with wheels. You've got, you know, you release a guy out to that far corner of the end zone. You can see Eden Prairie's just stacked up with their ears pinned back, ready to pounce on that up the middle, and nobody to the outside, so they need to take advantage of that.
3rd and goal at the 1, upcoming for the Hornets. Brinkman in the backfield is the lead tailback, and they'll give it to him. They'll fake it to him, and it's Boltman rolling into the end zone. Touchdown, Edina. And there you go. You kind of wondered when they were going to change it up a bit, given that was about the 4th or 5th time that they had failed in that down and distance.
6th opportunity they had at the 1-yard line, and they finally get that foot they needed.
Absolutely. So great fake. You put it in the hands of your playmaker quarterback, and they get it in the end zone, and now they will go for 2 to try to make it a 3-point game.
Yeah, that's certainly the right call at this point in the game. Got 7 minutes. That's enough time for Eden Prairie could essentially run the game out if they get the ball back on a long drive. So you got to go for 2 here and give yourself a chance.
2-point conversion try out of the single back. Boltman look wasn't there. Now he's running around and he's going to get stopped short, but sort of an impressive play that looked like he might have been able to worm his way back the other direction to where the action was going away from, but a couple of Eden Prairie players were there to stop him short, so that'll keep it a 5-point margin. So Edina will have to find the end zone if they want to steal the win in this one. Still 6:59 to go, 14-9 now, Eden Prairie in the lead. You're watching high school football on PSB Media.
Woohoo! This is the best dirt bath ever!
Larry, what's with all that racket?
I'm loving my new digs. This compost is amazing. Come on in, give it a try.
What are you talking about? Oh, yeah. You weren't kidding, Larry. This stuff is great.
The Mulch Store has compost your garden, and yes, even the worms will love. Stop by any of the Mulch Store locations in Burnsville, Minnetrista, Rosemount, and Shakopee to pick up the best compost in the Midwest. Online at mulchstoremn.com. Also shop rocks, seed, soil, edging, and more. Now's the time to make your neighbors green with envy.
Store locations in Burnsville, Minnetrista, Rosemount, and Shakopee.
Things tightening up a little bit here at the ECC. Edina punching it in on a 1-yard touchdown run by Brock Boltman. 2-point conversion, no good, but nonetheless, Eden Prairie's lead now shrinks to being 14-9. As Matt Rice will get set to kick off for the Hornets. Sort of stutter steps a bit, was thinking maybe about sort of pulling something out of the bag of tricks. It's fielded by Tommy Fuller for the Eagles, and he's going to end up with a good return out across the 40-yard line. So that might have backfired badly on Edina there. I think they were trying to catch Eden Prairie off guard, but Fuller picks it up and he runs it out to the, we'll mark it at the 44-yard line. So,
yeah, I'm not sure about that one. I think in that situation, I would have kicked it deep, tried to pin him back, because it's a field position game right now.
That was kind of the indecisive, should I go onside kick or kick it deep? You do the in-between thing, and it
first and 10 at the Eagle 41. I formation, there's a handoff to Green, and he gets his way up to about the 44 for a gain of 3. like to remind you, thank all of our great sponsors tonight: the Mulch Store, the Tavern on 4 and 5, the Sun Current, Freesiac, Brandy Warm Beers, State Farm Insurance Office, Noodles and Company, XL Fitness, and Red Savoy Pizza. Thank you for your support. Thanks for tuning in all season long here on PSB Media for Eden Prairie football and beyond. The 2nd down and 7 for Eden Prairie, clock ticking, 6:12. I formation, one receiver to the left of Connolly. Be Matson the quarterback. Connolly would probably be the receiver if he's up there, and it's a straight handoff to Falanico as he breaks a tackle, picks up a first down, and then some as he's tackled in Hornet territory at the 42. But that's a big first down, and that'll let Eden Prairie grind out more time. Remember, Edina had to burn 2 timeouts on their first drive of the second half. They only have one the rest of the way as we go 5:52 and counting. And Eden Prairie with a first down in Edina territory. I formation, one receiver to the right, and it's a little bit of a fake pitch, but it was intended to be a straight handoff. And it'll be Green Jr. He's pretty much run exclusively out of that up-back position tonight, sort of the fullback, halfback hybrid, and he picks up another good gain there. He does have one of Eden Prairie's touchdowns from 1 yard out. We pick up a 4, 5:10 remaining now and counting.
Edina, you got to make a play here on defense. Eden Prairie's getting dangerously close here to the red zone, and that clock's starting to become an issue as well with under 5 minutes to go. Kind of joked last week on our broadcast about how Eden Prairie has their 6-minute offense, so they're trying to milk this clock away here with that old 6-minute offense.
For the I formation again, Cole Kramer in at quarterback on this drive, There's a handoff to Falanico, and he is shoestring tackled on his way to the end zone. He's brought down at the 24-yard line for pickup of 14. Patrick Peterson got him by the shoestrings. He sure looked like he was on his way to putting this one away.
Yeah, he had no one in front of him. You'll see it here on the replay, literally the shoestring tackle.
So it'll be another first down for Eden Prairie at the Edina 24, 4:20 now and counting. I formation again, one receiver to the left of Kramer, and might as well just give it to Falanico, and he's on his way, and this time he's not denied. Touchdown, Eden Prairie. 24-yard touchdown run puts Eden Prairie for the moment up 20-9, and that might put the icing on this one.
I think on this drive you can finally see the fatigue setting in on the line for the Edina Hornets. You see that big Eden Prairie line just leans on you all game, and eventually they start to break them open like that.
Montero for the extra point, made one and missed one. This one is up and it is good. So Montero's extra point puts the Eagles up 21-9 with 4:07 left to go in the game. You're watching high school football on PSB Media.
When you're scrambling through the dinner rush, go with your most delicious option, Red Savoy. Loved by Minnesotans for years, Red Savoy has savory, flavorful sauce that sets their pizza apart. Plus there's more: pasta, salads, sandwiches, and even gluten-free options. Whether delivery, frozen, or take and bake, Red Savoy's got you covered. Plus, check out Red Savoy's catering and fundraising options. It's a surefire way to make your next banquet, meeting, or fundraiser a hit. Find your nearest location and order online at savoypizza.com.
Every morning, Jack wakes up before anybody else in his family. He makes a strong cup of coffee, and at 6:30 sharp, he goes outside to grab the local newspaper. No one knows your neighborhood like you do. Neighborhood Assist 2016 is coming.
Shop and save with Brandy Warm Beer State Farm Insurance Office in Eden Prairie. A local connection at a lower cost. BrandyWarmBeer.com.
Davis Yeager kicking off for Eden Prairie, and a little bit of hesitation is Stewart. Takes it at about the 1, now crosses the 10 and is swarmed down at about the 13. And you can see the Eden Prairie players and fans, they're all pumped up. They smell this one about to come out of the oven as another Eden Prairie victory and a rebound from last week's disappointing loss.
Yeah, it's a rebound they needed as well, since they, at least dating back to last year, had lost back-to-back games for the first time since 2012. It's tough when you go from a 40-game winning streak to a 2-game losing streak. Got to get back in that W column, and it certainly looks like they're going to do that.
They do have a player down, looks like an Eden Prairie special teams player being attended to by trainers. We'll take a step out while we're watching high school football on PSB Media.
Yeah, actually, let's keep it here, Patrick. I was going to say he's coming off the field now. So
yeah, it kind of popped up on me, but that's always great to see.
I had to jump in. I don't think I had a 20-second commercial to throw in there.
You're seeing a mass exodus from the fans here now all of a sudden. They think this one's over, which likely is, but, you know, crazier things have happened. There's still 4 minutes on the clock and it's still a 2-score game. So
all is, is a big play and you're back to a 1-score game and an onside kick, but getting that big play is easier said than done against this EP defense.
3:59, 1st and 10 at their own 13. Boltman out of the shotgun, looking, and once again his receivers covered beautifully, trying to run away and just nowhere to go. Flags come in on the tackle, but once again we've seen, I think Eden Prairie's coverage has just played great. Boltman just nowhere to throw it on a lot of these plays and forced to just try to tuck it and evade that defense that has its ears pinned back.
Yeah, absolutely, and I think Boltman's going to be a little sore tomorrow. He's taken a lot of hits in this game. Some sacks, also some designed runs. He's taken a lot of taking a lot of hits back there.
Another personal foul penalty against Eden Prairie. That will be their 5th of the night. No signal given as to the nature of it.
I guess at the very least, though, they're at least not, after the play, late hit type things. But you wonder, if it's hits to the head or face masks. Either way, it's still something you got to clean up if you're Eden Prairie.
Absolutely. So 3:51, it'll be 1st and 10 for Edina after the penalty at their own 28. Boltman out of the shotgun, 2 receivers to the left, 2 to the right, Boltman with a quick drop, fires it, and looks like it's dropped by Parker Rickard.
Boy, they got to be looking to the middle of the field if you run that play back, Brett. They're Eden Prairie sitting back in kind of a deep cover 2 here, which kind of leaves the middle of the field open. You're going to see that tight end come wide open right up the pipe there. They got to be looking for that one with that cover 2 coverage.
You'll see it there on the middle part of your screen, and there was no safety behind him either.
Rickard unable to hold on to the quick hitter, so 2nd and 10 upcoming. Now 3:47 left, and that 12-point deficit for the Hornets. Boltman out of the shotgun, looking once again, nothing downfield. Flags come in. He scrambles and is taken down at about the 30. A couple of Eden Prairie players thinking the ball might have been knocked loose, but it appears it's been ruled down by contact.
Boltman a little slow getting up on that one. He may have got tackled onto the football there. He's kind of holding his left arm at his side. I'm not sure if he's injured or not.
Hey guys, by the way, I have someone clarifying that rule we were talking about, Grant. This is from
perfect.
I think I can't read his name there with my screen a little blurry, but he says personal foul and unsportsmanlike conduct penalties in youth and high school football do not carry an automatic first down. They're just 15-yard penalties. Also, high school football defensive pass interference no longer carries an automatic first down, just the 15-yard penalty.
All right, we appreciate that clarification. Thanks for emailing us. Meanwhile, another penalty against Eden Prairie.
Yeah, thank you, M, for clearing that up for us. Yeah, we were certainly curious about that earlier.
So now it'll be First and 10 at the 44 after another penalty. Boltman out of the shotgun. More flags. Fires it complete. That'll be... It's Connell, the tight end, again. Gain of about 15 if it stands, but more flags coming in. A formation penalty against Edina, so that'll wipe out the pickup to Connell. That'll set Edina back to 1st and 15.
Well, these referees are certainly getting a chance to practice all their hand signals for penalties. They've done just about every one of them in the book in this game.
Throwing a lot of laundry out there tonight.
It'll be 1st and 15 from the Hornets 39. 3:22 clock starts with the ball ready for play. Just the one timeout left for Edina, as we mentioned. Shotgun look, 4 receiver set, 2 to the right and 2 to the left. Boltman drops back. Again, nothing. And more flags come in as Boltman goes down at the 35.
Boy.
It's week 2, but it kind of feels like week 1 out here. We have a moment. Like to remind everyone, Friesiak also brings you coverage of tonight's game. They're one of our new sponsors, a delicious frozen yogurt shop located just blocks from Eden Prairie High School. I had a chance to check it out a couple of times before the season. It's a way to kind of quench your sweet tooth. You can make your own custom recipes of yogurt. It's all self-serve, so you can come up with all sorts of crazy combinations. I was pretty boring, though. I just went with a chocolate peanut butter cup. But, guys, we're going to have to hit that up after a game sometime.
Absolutely.
That is the Friesiak, located just blocks from Eden Prairie High School. Also a mom-and-pop owned shop as well. So definitely check it out. It's a local business. Give them your support. It's the Friesiak, located just blocks from Eden Prairie High School.
Appear to be another penalty against Eden Prairie if the ball spotted at midfield. Well, you got to kind of wonder what Mike Grant's going to be talking about to his defense this week. Just have a stoppage before the snap.
Oh, this has been a slow-moving game. Holy cow.
Oh, it's been, yeah, the fourth quarter especially has been slow-moving here these last 5 minutes. It's like the finish of an NBA basketball game out here with the stoppages in the waiting minutes.
There's been multiple times where they've called a penalty and then stopped it again, and they line up to play, and then they stop it again. There's clock issue, or just a lot of mishaps going on out there with...
Maybe it was an issue with the clock. The clock is now suddenly jumped down to 2:51. Looks like it'll be 1st down and 4. Don't see that every day.
Really a weird call, but here we are with, 2:46. Edina's got it at midfield. They still have a very small outside chance of getting back into this.
Boltman out of the shotgun. 4 receiver set. Straight drop. Once again, nothing. Fires it, and it's intercepted. Trying to hit Jake Boltman, but fired wide, and it's intercepted by Rodney Cooper. First turnover of the second half for Edina, and that should just about do it. Cooper makes the catch and falls down right there at the 35-yard line.
Well, there you saw his outside receiver on a deep dig route. He comes open for a second, but he just threw it over his head right to that safety waiting behind him.
So that might just about do it. Edina still has 1 timeout, 2:31 left, 21-9. But we've kind of seen the last couple of drives that this ground game just does not appear that it's going to be stopped any longer, as Eden Prairie comes out in the I formation. And here is a handoff, but tripped up right away, though. It was Graham Teal in the game on this series. Stopped right about the line of scrimmage, but if you're Eden Prairie, that's okay, because that clock's still running, 2:15 now and counting.
So both teams going to drop to 1-1 in the West Metro District. Eden Prairie will have a matchup next week against Hopkins, who historically has been towards the bottom of the standings, but I know they did get a big victory last week in their opener, and they always bring their best effort against the Eagles when they play them.
Handoff to Falanico as he dances across the 40 and is brought down at about the 42. Pickup of about 7.
Solo. Falanico.
It'll be 3rd down and about 3 upcoming. Eden Prairie can still run the clock down to about a minute before they have to snap the ball.
And they certainly just want to get that first down and wrap it up here from the Kuhlman Stadium.
High formation for Eden Prairie. Trying to put it away. Here's a handoff to Falanico, and he's got the first down and still fighting. It'll be a pickup of about 5 on 3rd and 3. And Eden Prairie faithful can exhale a bit. Things got a little tight in the 4th quarter, but the Eagles able to grind it out. And now they have a first down with 54 seconds to play. Edina only 1 timeout, so the Eagles can just whittle off the rest of the clock and return home tonight with that victory in their pockets against their rival to the east.
Edina still with some issues to work out this season. They were highly rated coming into it, but now they have a loss to Eden Prairie and probably a closer victory than they anticipated against Andover last week. So, team, a lot of room to improve, but they can certainly do so. As I know, is reported in a lot of media outlets about how they brought in Osceo's former head coach on their state championship last team as their offensive coordinator. Can sometimes make things a little tougher to gel when you're a new coordinator on a new staff. So Edina certainly with some potential. Make some moves later in the season, but right now, a work in progress for the Hornets.
Absolutely, as Eden Prairie grinds it down as far as they can, and they take a timeout with the play clock about to expire. 29 seconds to go in the game.
I gotta ask, why would you do that right there? All you have to do is run one play and the game's over.
Oh, call the timeout, yeah.
Yeah, what's the point in that? There's no
the only
point
thing I can think of, is maybe they have some subs they want to bring in and give them a snap on the varsity.
I don't think they subbed anybody, though. That was just weird.
It's been a game of some weird things tonight.
That's true. But Eden Prairie, it's not the most exciting football to watch, but they control the line of scrimmage, they control time of possession, and they control field position. You win a lot of high school football games that way.
And we will have just Kramer dropping to a knee. Edina electing to not use that last timeout. And the clock will run down to the final horn, 15 seconds. Final score from the Edina Community Center tonight will be Eden Prairie 21, Edina 9. Very close fought game decided by some big plays and miscues down close to the end zone. We can start with the turnover by Eden Prairie in Edina in their own territory that's set up an Edina touchdown. We can start with Edina failing to cash in on 4 downs inside the 2-yard line. So hard-fought game tonight goes to Eden Prairie. Once again, the final score tonight, Eden Prairie 21, Edina 9. You have been watching coverage of high school football here on PSB Media.
Thanks for tuning in to live, local, play-by-play coverage of tonight's game. Catch all the action all season long on your home for Southwest Metro Sports, PSB Media. Tonight's game was brought to you by The Mulch Store, The Tavern on 4 and 5, The Sun Current, Noodles & Company, XL Fitness, Brandy Warmbier's State Farm Insurance Office,
Freesiac, Red Savoy Pizza,
and in partnership with Minnesota Football Magazine and BEC TV. You can find an archived broadcast of tonight's game available 24/7 on psbmn.com.